The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Who's gonna teach you how to dance? Who's gonna show you how to fly? Who's gonna call you on the lame, dope, smoking, slacking little sucker you are? Who's gonna get you from behind? Who's gonna ring your little bell? Who's gonna con you into buying a television? Fake a revolution they sell. When are you gonna blow the game? When are you gonna blow the screen? When are you gonna tell them that the clock doesn't wash and you found a way to make your own dreams? The clock doesn't wash and you found a way to make yourself scream.
Welcome, everyone, to Power Trip Episode 2. I am your host, Devious Dave Rose, and that, in fact, was one of my favorite bands of all time. I've seen them, enjoyed them, have their discography. They're called Monster Magnet, and that song is called Power Trip. Thank you, one and all, for joining us here tonight. I'm feeling quite perturbed. There is a disturbance in the force, and as such, the only way to deal with it would be in the most devious way possible. As such, I am here to lay it down for all those that want to know, and for all those that are too scared to ask. So first off, as I always do, let us begin by acknowledging and thanking those that are spending their time here watching this. We have Travis TLC, based Alcatraz, Zero Tolerance. Casey is Rod, the current champion of Monetize This, or JCS, whatever, and looks like probably future Drew champion, whatever. It's the Costanza, Festlove, Steve Callan, Foul Mouse Nation himself, Tab, sporting that very depressing looking Pepe. I would go with a happy Apu, because nothing bothers Apu. The man Chad himself, who's wielding the onerous wrench. So watch what you say, because he's watching. Festlove. Oh, he's just referring to somebody else. Somebody who's just throwing out the eyeballs and doing a little faggoty whatever move that is. I can't remember. The dab, that's what it's called. Yeah, I'm not homosexual. I don't know what that stuff is called naturally. And let's see, who else do we got here? We got C-Man here. Let's see how well he behaves. And a fake D. Welsh, apparently. Alrighty. Well, we have 20 people joining us here on this Thursday, January 28th, 2021, in probably the most fucked time in human history. And it's like negative 20 degrees Celsius outside, so it's fucking freezing. And yeah, we're getting some more snow, so that's all great. But what's not great is what's going to happen to certain people in regards to what they've been saying. Now, obviously, we know that the Grand Tribunal of Scott Anthony McKinnon is coming up. We've heard continually for the last 6 years, continual threats of, oh, if you try to go against me, I'm going to do something against you. Yeah, and then you, in the same breath, say, if you would have done so, you would have done so already. Not that you weren't capable of, according to you, and we're talking about Scott McKinnon here, but you've chosen not to do that. But you keep saying that you've got these files and stuff. Shut the fuck up. But excuse me, it's also important to acknowledge and address what happened literally the other day. Now, let me light up my death stick here. And speak some facts. Young Republican was featured on a show, and he spoke about how everyone was attacking Scott. But just previously, apart from being threatened by Scott, he was not really that concerned about a tribunal. But once, I guess, his toy got threatened, he started to get all panicked. And then had his little stream there the other day. Actually, I think it was today. Regardless, is that, well, actually, it was today. Where he's commenting, he did have another stream the other day, yes, correct, but he continued on with the same sort of false narratives that he continued on with today's stream. Now, that is important to speak about. Why? Because apparently, in his mind, well, in the way that he's trying to present the story, if anybody speaks about Scott, they're just bringing him up. They're bringing up drama, which goes in contradiction to what they say, that they don't want to deal with drama, that they don't want to have to do, deal with anything to do with Scott. But, as always, with a manipulative liar, he's excluding the comment and mention that, oh, it's Scott that actually is the one who's antagonizing. And always has been. Scott will continually say, I'm not the one who did the first act. It's always them, but I always react. That's bullshit. Everyone knows it. Because the fact is, something as passive as ignoring continual messages and basically what surmounts as harassment. It's just... Give me a second here. I gotta blow my nose. So something as passive as not responding is still considered an attack. I gotta get a dehumidifier. Fuck. All right. But back to the story here is you've got YR turning around and essentially saying that, oh, well, you guys are claiming that you don't want to speak about drama, but you're talking him up and that's bringing him up, and therefore that's you're going the opposite and that's totally fine and stuff. It's like, no, but YR is seeing the pattern. YR is just getting sad and soured that his toy is not going to be able, he's not going to be able to play the Puppet Master. That's the thing. And Mars talked about this the other day on one of these shows. I said Puppet Master confirmed in the chat. And he's like, oh, he's not a puppet master. It's like, but he is. Just because you don't fall for it doesn't mean that all these other people don't fall for it. And it's always the same case. When he doesn't get his way, what happens? He'll literally rage quit his own fucking stream. And everyone knows this. His allies know this. Today, Nikki, fucking Ken, and other people on the call had it. And, it's always the same thing, whether it be somebody criticizes Keith Rabarber, Jacob RP, SC Steve, anybody that YR has his little tendrils in, because at this point it's not fucking strings. These are tendrils, okay? And if it threatens at one point his fun, no, he's taking his toy home and going home. And YR, yes, you do know that. Now, before I continue, I will I'm going to check on some of the chat here, see what's going on. Looks like there's... obviously, it's not the real D. Welsh And there's another D. Welsh. But again, you're pathetic. Really. I mean, if you're going to waste your time here, of all places where you've got people, actually, well, I mean, you've got all these people here that are looking out for it, and people with the wrenches that are paying attention. You're just making yourself look pathetic, is what it is. But regardless, again, YR, and again, I know you're listening, I know you're watching, I know you know what's going on. I also find it very comical that this video started off with like 1 thumbs up and like, I think it was like 7 or 9 thumbs down. It was an odd number. And now it's, flipped a bit. You got 9 and 5. But regardless, I know YR's listening because he's got nothing better to do on a Thursday night. You know what? Maybe I will. You know what? I am open to taking a call from YR. In fact, anyone else for that matter. I'll keep things open tonight. I'm on my power trip now, after all. And I will give credit to Scott McKinnon for that because, he thinks it's all about ego, man. Dave is all about ego. So he's always on a power trip, man. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Fucking fag, fucking sane. For giving me the name for this show. Although I've always loved Monster Magnet since the moment I heard them. And that fucking song is great. So, I just thought it was a good fitting piece. And, even if these guys are fucking bastards and fucking idiots, I still don't agree with putting the names of their families in the chat because I'm not a faggot. Now, obviously, this individual that just got hidden is, but what I would recommend is just go straight to fucking either the East Village in New York or Castro, I think it's Avenue in San Francisco, and take it in the pooper from as many fags as possible because you're guaranteed to get AIDS, and, that at least will lead to your demise because you are that pathetic. You could literally come in with your real name and actually speak criticism of someone, of Scott or anybody else, and you'd probably be, accepted, and that criticism wouldn't be blocked and would be allowed in the chat. But you come in looking like a pussy, you're going to be fucked and, thrown out. Just like a pussy. So that being said, back to the issue of YR. So, Mr. Young Republican, and notice that I am not naming you, although, yes, everyone knows your real name, blah, 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 but I'm still showing a level of respect that you don't show to other people. Because you'll say something, and then behind the scenes, you're fucking doing your shit, and everyone knows this, dude. Everyone knows this. And I will have to criticize Ken and Nikki and everybody else that does the exact same thing. Oh, well, he's cute, He's just this, he's just this retarded little guy, He's just like a Mogwai or a Mogwai, whatever the fuck from Gremlins. He's just fucking this little furry thing. He's gonna not cause any problems. Of course not. I dropped some water on him and now I fed him after midnight. He's duplicated now. We got a bunch of gremlins. Whatever. What's up, J Diz? No, see, the thing is, though, you're just enabling someone who is Peter Pan. He is the child that won't grow up. To a certain extent, Scott is as well, but that seems more grounded in some sort of psychological thing. I think, YR is just like, well, okay, I can get away with it because I can talk my way out of it. Everyone thinks I'm cute and stuff, so I'm just gonna keep getting around it, And I was just joking. Never serious. Now, people. Now, think very carefully about what I'm saying. And you can look this up if you want, but people that use comedy to diffuse a situation because of conflict, because of some sort of anxiety that the situation produces in them, they have serious mental issues. They cannot confront reality. They feel the need to use comedy because they have nothing else. And I'm sorry, I refuse to accept that. I've faced difficult situations, and I don't try to use a fucking joke to try to alleviate the situation. You know what? I'd rather fucking discuss the situation seriously and get it over with so that we can move on. So we can move on to better things. No, people that joke around, they're not mature enough. They're not intellectually capable enough to discuss things in an adult and mature manner. And that is why they continually fall back on comedy. But there's nothing funny of that. The only thing that's funny is the patheticness that people can't just fucking man up. Now, some people say, oh, well, that term around, you're not considering certain things. Look, obviously, we live in a matriarchal society where the courts, for example, almost always agree with women. Okay? So I'm not discounting the fact that men do have the short end of the stick here, and that you can't just, basically wipe the entire situation under one constraint. But that being said, is that society's gotten weak, and we know this. We know this. There's an old saying that seems to be at least a little more thrown around these days. But it's something that that people, I think, don't really think about very often. And I think it should be reminded to themselves every day. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. So right now, we're in that transition of weak men creating hard times, because the weakness of those that wanted to bow down in front of the altar of political correctness have led us into these hard times. And we have individuals like YR who are weak in standing up and would rather be manipulative. And that is leading to hard times. Let's go back to the chat here. Travis says, the mods, I'm at work, can't look at the chat. Seaman says, weak men create hard times. That whole thing called it. Bit off topic. Oh, who's beer taster? Bit off topic. But when's the next Smug Canadians? Well, I don't know exactly when, but that's obviously that airs on Nick's show, and that is based on around his schedule. So it would be best directed to him. That being said, we still have a plethora of topics to discuss on that show, and there was other discussions of other shows that we'll be doing either as the Smug Canadians or, just as Nikki and Dave, but stay tuned. A lot of good stuff. Travis says, hello, Steve. Eric James Alpha, yielding that wrench, he says, and the strong men take the weak men's women. Yes, history has proven that. Now, I would suggest that YR call in. I doubt that he will, although I know he's listening. But I would suggest that he call in so that he would be able to address these things. And again, this is just me here. It's just one person. So, Scott, yet again, proven wrong and retarded. That I don't need a whole team of people. I've got 34 people watching me to discuss, 36, to discuss, to listen what I've got to say, whether they fucking agree with it or not. And it's just me, okay? I don't need a fucking team. So there's no wolf packing here. Again, a faggotrous comment from an idiot that doesn't understand words. Plain and simple. But it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate you, for example, for your skills and knowledge in fishing. And when you focus and concentrate on doing something like that, I'm a huge supporter of you, YR. But when you get a little bit too big for your britches there, and you start to think that you really are this master puppet master, yes, I said master twice, it's not going to be tolerated, especially when you then, from one show with Nick and Ken, agreeing with certain things about Scott, or at least, being sort of neutral and claiming to want to be neutral, to going to a show where you're exclusive with Scott and then pulling all this bullshit, stating all this bullshit like, well, if you don't want to discuss things about, if you don't want Scott talking about you, just stop talking, because if you bring it up, it's just you bringing it up. It's like, no, stupid. This is the fallacy here, because for the last 6 years, everyone's done the same thing. They shut the fuck up. They didn't talk about Scott, but by ignoring him, it's, again, more justification for him to go again and start to talk even more shit. So there's no right answer, faggot. Credit to Joe Cronin. So here's the thing, YR. You're trying to play people around you. You're trying to play the audience by trying to tell them, well, if you mention this guy, he's going to talk about you. You know what? I think I'm going to play that fucking clip again from the third tribunal, I think, or where Scott, again, was presented with this and told, don't talk about people. He's like, well, what do you expect me to do if people talk about me? Not say anything? He even said it in his own fucking response. And I was like, exactly. Because that's what a fucking adult does. So you, YR, are trying to play the fucking game. This isn't genuine. And you can call in to fucking disprove me. But you got to have the guts to fucking do so, and you don't have any fucking excuse in regards to, wolf packing. Just me and you, baby. Just me and you. But you're not going to do that. Why? Because I'm fucking correct. Rage quitting your own fucking stream after I fucking sent a message through Nikki to tell you that you were not in my good graces, specifically for the shit that you pulled yesterday, talking about, again, what I just said, about mentioning Scott, then talking about fucking Nick, then talking about fucking Ken, and then going on to Scott like total opposite, like ignoring what you were previously saying on that fucking other stream. And you think you can just get away with it? You think you can just pull an Orwell and just fucking nobody notices nothing? No. You're getting called out for this shit. Number one. Number two, you are. YR. You are at the end of your rope in regards to the tolerance that I and many others have for your antics, for your rhetoric, and for your manipulative bullshit that you are actively conducting behind the scenes. Now, I actually did think, honest to God, that I was going to make an announcement on today's show about, amongst other things, about how I was planning to decommission, in the military sense, DocsBox 1. Still perfectly functional, still a beautiful machine. But now I'm not. Like, you really fucking push things way too far, and the patience of people way too far. You're trying to fucking have your cake and eat it too. You're trying to play both sides, even though people know you're doing that, and when confronted, I'm just being where I am. But you're harassing me by doing this thing. Look, you're not intelligent, okay? You understand that. Maybe you have smarts. That's perfectly fine, But intelligence-wise, you're not. So, first of all, don't expect that people can't see through your bullshit, because we do. Many times, often than not, you're not called out for it because it's more like, look at this fucking stupid schlub. He actually thinks he's fucking getting away with this. He's special. He's limited. Let's give him that little boost of confidence, it's kind of funny to see. You know, we're doing our little good deed of the day. So, you know, let's let him. But don't think anyone doesn't fucking see through that shit, you fucking idiot. Don't think for a goddamn fucking second nobody's And the problem is, there's a lot of fucking people out there that unfortunately, their hearts, you know, their hearts are a little too big, I would say. I would actually say this. Their hearts are in the right place, but their heads are up their asses. And they give you more of the benefit of the doubt than you deserve, quite honestly. In fact, your constant betrayal of individuals in the community, I think just does go to show that what I'm saying is in fact correct. Now, why that is, you know, needs to be examined. Is it 100% malicious? No, I don't believe so. I do not believe so. 100% malicious would mean you'd be doing some very, very bad things. But what you are doing, you are knowledgeable of, you are aware of, and you are doing with purpose and intent. That alone cannot be ignored, and legally won't be ignored. I'm basically explaining how these fulfill certain legal, you know, requirements. But we'll continue on with that discussion in a moment. Looks like we've got quite some discussion there in the chat. So let's catch up here. Let me just get a little drink here to wet my whistle. Let's see here. Seaman, let's see what he has to say. I don't believe Scott is one of those dudes that just leaves when you ignore him. He has nowhere to go based off what I've observed. That is correct in all senses. But that's the thing, though. It takes a mature individual to walk away knowing that people are still going to be talking about you. I mean, let's be honest. Everyone, at some point in their life, must have witnessed some sort of cliquish behavior where they, you know, realize, well, I'm not part of that group, clearly, so I'm not going to be able to, you know, hang with them or do that, you know, whether it be elementary school, junior high school, could be college, could be fucking at work. Fuck, there's cliques at work and shit. So, you know, it takes an adult to basically say, okay, well, I guess that's out of the question. But it takes an adult, not a fucking mentally ill, schizophrenic, you know, East Coast idiot, or a fucking, you know, Skinwalker Ranch Twiggy alien from Texas. So back to the chat here. Foul Mouse Nation shouting out what everyone should know, but he's saying Dave is right, obviously. Beer Taster says if people actually ignored him, Seaman, he would have no choice but to leave, right? I would say yes. Once you throw somebody into the void of obscurity and irrelevancy, and they can't get attention, well, then there's no point. But people continually throw, you know, at least reach out or connect, whatever. The bottom line is yes, you're correct. We've got Awande, Prince of Persia. Well, not yet until, you know, we finally get that Saudi Persian War. Funded by, you know, Israel on both sides. He says, hey, Dave, thoughts on Wall Street debacle? Who's trading? Okay, well, the tribe, and you know what I'm saying, doesn't like when the Goyim know what they're fucking up to. So, hey, you know, all these people got smart, and they started to actually fuck with our ability to fuck over the common people by making profits out of literally zero money, like zero existing money. We can't have that. No. So shut it down. Oy vey, shut it down. And that's what we're seeing right now. But trust me, they've opened up a Pandora's box. This is the way to fight back. This is actually the way that I've been recommending for literally years. That and it's very much like the Matrix, is that you've got to become part of the system to essentially again, it's like the movie The Matrix. It's like, yeah, you can run on walls and like jump like super high and shit like that, but you're not breaking any rules. You're actually just bending the system that currently exists, the one that you're expected to play in. You know, if they can manipulate the system, so can you. And these magnificent bastards. I love each and every single one of those Wall Street bet bros. Every single one, for doing that stuff and actually showing the world how fake this fiat money system bullshit is. And it's only going to get better. Oh man, this is just, the cork is off. Okay, the atomic genie is out. Pandora's box is open, and now, ooh, it's gonna get sexy time. Let's get back to the chat here. Like I'm trying to stay focused because we are talking more of the drama stuff. But yeah, you get me into the fucking economics and the fucking real hidden hand of the supposed free market, and then you really get me riled up. In fact, I'm starting to salivate right now. So let me just swallow that bile. Take a quick breath, and let's go back to the chat. We've got, let's see here. Beer Taster says, Wandy, you jump on the dog coin, or Doge coin, sorry. Wandy says, I can't find it on my trading platform, but a Wandy can literally go up to a vending machine and buy, like, bullion, like gold, which is very cool about the Mideast. Eric James Alpha says, Dave on point tonight. You goddamn right. In fact, for that, I think that deserves a little celebration. So, and yes, that is a beer. It is not a 40-ounce bottle of rum or some other alcohol that would get Scott arrested. But cheers to you, Eric James, for recognizing the true alpha. Now, back to the chat. So yeah, Beer Taster says, found it on Robinhood. Those motherfuckers. C-Man says, Beer Taster, like I said, it's based off what I've observed. I've only been watching this drama stuff for the past month or so. I don't know, Scott, beyond what I've heard in passing and then the past months. Well, you got homework to do, buddy. So, Travis says, Wire is kind of playing both sides a bit. First of all, kinda. Second of all, a bit? Seriously, man? It's like 6 years of this shit, man. Come on. Come on, man. Come on, man. Listen, fat. And come on. It's like, but he's blatant about it. It's so obvious. And he's admitted it. And then he laughs. Again, using comedy to diffuse a situation. What did we say about that, kids? Yes, clear identification of low IQ and manipulative intent. So back to the chat. Let's see here. Travis says, stock market, nothing but a scam. I have stocks. Even I know that. Wandy says, Scott thinks I make fake accounts to troll. Yes, his paranoia is quite widespread, and it changes all the time based on literally the temperature, you know, if a cloud looks like a butt or if it looks like a face. You know, it could depend on many different things. Could depend on his bowel movement. So then we got C-Man here, says, I don't want to get invested. I know your philosophy when it comes to discussion, but I'm not arguing against anything you've said when it comes to Scott. Dude is a textbook alcoholic narcissist. I find it funny that C-Man says, C-Man, which is kind of funny because it sort of is semen, you know. I know your philosophy when it comes to discussion. Yeah. It's logic. And the other day you proved yourself incapable of discussing things because I was providing you with a proper, non-fallacy argument. Perfect examples of what I was expecting when it came to, I guess, the demonstration of truth, of fact, of your side. And it wasn't sufficient. I understand logic. I understand debate. Okay, and I just find it funny that there are, well, you're not the first Seaman, but there have been many before you that have come at me thinking that they could debate me on topics, and just they could not. And many females, actually, well, many, I don't know about many, but several females that thought that they could come at me and then try to manipulate the situation by either utilizing their gender, which is pathetic on its own, or trying to use, I guess, well, again, their gender, but more so to sort of say, well, you're not accepting my opinion because of my gender. It's like, no, bitch, you made no sense. You didn't fucking, prove your point. So you're being called out. So, yeah, I mean, back to the chat. So, Seaman says, the alcoholism unfortunately won't end because you need to be capable of admitting the problem before you can solve it. Narcissists are never wrong. You also, well, at some point, some people need physical intervention. You need somebody that will be able to physically keep the alcohol away from somebody. So there's that. Seaman says, I already stated I wasn't referring to factual discussion, though. That's why I disagreed. Factual. But how could... Look, I'm not interested in having like a philosophical discussion and stuff. When you have a discussion, you present facts. That's how it works. Either this is truthful or it's not. All right. Eric James Alpha says Scott was dropping several N-bombs on the shows the last 2 nights. Says he lives with them, so it's okay. Well, I don't remember ever knowing that he was living with black people, but I kind of doubt that. Travis says he wasn't successful at finding Shannon's info, so it was okay to do it. Exactly. That's the other logic there. It's like, well, I shot at that guy, but I missed. So, that's not attempted murder. Come on. It was just a joke. That literally is the fucking logic there. Okay, now, if you are of right mind, you got to recognize that that's wrong. Of course, he'd probably try to argue that, but anybody of right mind would recognize that sort of formulation of an argument it actually obviously doesn't make sense, but what it does do is it reveals the mental state of someone who says it. And Scott, especially for the past, month, 2 months, has sort of revealed his mental state by his statements alone. And he's in a really bad spot right now. A really bad spot. Ugh. And that's the thing, though, is that, look, we've all tried to help him out. Okay, that's without doubt. Okay, he has the ability to seek help. He has the ability to find those that actually do still support him, strangely enough. And he chooses to continue on, okay? Rather than grow up and be an adult, he chooses to double down. And he can't let things go. So, with that in mind, it's clear to see that he will not, without any physical intervention, he will not get better. And when, again, when YR tries to pull his bullshit saying, well, if Scott ends up killing himself, then, you guys have to feel guilty, and you gotta consider that yourselves are partially responsible for it. Okay, that's a play. That's a play right there. That's not fucking just some fucking guy who's like, I really care about this person who's experiencing mental illness. No, that's a fucking play, YR. Stop fucking around. How is that a play? Because what you're trying to say is that, oh, no, don't say anything about Scott. Just let him say his shit. Let him threaten you. Let him fucking dox you. But don't say anything, because any little small thing, he's gonna kill himself and I'll lose my fucking toy. We see through your shit. Why are? So please, stop. Because you literally are one cunt hair away from really starting problems that I don't want, but I will see to an end, see to a finish. I don't have a Twitter that you can fucking get me off of anymore. Okay? So, like I told you, it's time that you fucking grow up, man up, and stop fucking around. Back to the chat. Let's see here. C-Man won't let it go. I wasn't referring to philosophical either. I meant in a personal argument where one feels wronged. That's when I criticize your approach to people. No. Look, we're not even going to get into this discussion here, because the logic that I can display here will just destroy it, and then you'll feel like YR. Like you're being wolfpacked, but only by one person, which is a contradiction of words. But, I can see right now that YR is probably, like wrapped in a towel. He's crying in a corner, rocking, in a fetal position with his wig on. And he's just like, why? Why are they doing this to me? And again, there's no they. It's just me here. And again, the phone lines are open, or Skype lines. So call in if you want, YR. I know you won't. But nobody's going to be wolfpacking you. I'll mute myself when you speak. You have your right to say anything you want. And you can actually, if you were a man, had a couple of testicles, and a cock between your legs, you could stand up for what you believe in and prove me wrong by just calling in and telling me how I am wrong. So let's go back to the chat here. We got Eric James Alpha says, a 1D. It's all internet garbage. Just a sad person who needs help, I reckon. We got Foulmouse Nations. I ignored Scott totally for 4.5 months, and he attacked me every weekend. Yeah, we noticed that, Ken. Everyone noticed that. Even Stevie Wonder noticed that. Wandy says, Eric James, that's why I don't take him seriously. Travis says, a 1D is the safest person here. Not if Israel decides to go to war with the Middle East. So, Foulmouse says, I wish we could just ignore and move on. It doesn't happen. But it doesn't happen. He infiltrates every aspect of online life, especially here on YouTube. Well, yeah, snakes do have a way of sort of slithering their way into just about everything. Ask the Australians. Eric James Alpha says, Ken, he's just a lonely dude, someone who needs to be ignored. Be very careful with your words there, Eric James, because you're trying to like simplify it. Oh, he's just a lonely dude. No, I will not accept such language in my chat. No, not just a lonely dude, a vindictive, childish, immature, and vengeful individual. Okay, and that will not be tolerated. That's a bully. That's someone who wants to manipulate. And I will not accept that. C-Man says, it's good, though. I get exactly what you're saying when it comes to factual discussion or debate. I just separate the personal disagreements from those that are almost entirely emotionally based. Here's the thing, though. I'm like the Tin Man. I have no emotions. So I don't know what you're talking about. Eric James Alpha says, just don't let him get in close to begin with. Once it happens, it's too late. Eric James Alpha says classic, or classis fire. Try again, classic fire. Travis says, I wish things were different. Scott has value, but his tactics and behavior outweigh the good. At this point, it's really bad. You just can't go around doing these types of things. And that's correct. But that's the thing, though. That's what everyone has been saying for the longest time. Is because, yes, people did see value in him as a person, as a human, at least reflective of themselves, in the sense that most people are good people. Okay? Just because people like Joe Carlin think the world is fucking absolute garbage, doesn't mean that the world isn't populated, in fact, by actually good people. Okay? So the immediate natural response by most people is to help. Not by everyone, but by most people. It's not that abundant, it's not that observable, but statistically you will seem to find that there's more of a gravitation towards being good. It's just built in our genetics, okay? And Scott has been given so many times. Everyone's tried to help him out so many different times, so many different ways. And he attacks that generosity. And that can't be, at one point it has to be, because it's not like, every time you interact with him, he'll attack you. He will be attacking you when you're not interacting with him, when you're trying to avoid interacting with him. And people like YR just feed into that paranoia, knowing perfectly well what they're doing. And newsflash there, young. There are people, owl-eyed people, superb owls, that see through everything. And this isn't Scott saying, I am the ultimate warrior, man, and I can do everything. No, see, he bullshits. I don't. Here's one of my tells. I don't joke fucking around. I don't joke around. So, that should, well, if you even knew what I was fucking talking about, you probably fucking don't. Be nice if I didn't have to dumb myself down sometimes. It really would. And some people say, oh, Dave wants to sound smart. No, I just want to speak normally. I want to be able to speak in such a way that it comes naturally to me, which is what I'm doing, and that people fucking understand me. That I don't have to fucking find a synonym for somebody who's never even bothered to open a fucking dictionary up. No, but I'm the one with the fucking problem, right? So therefore, yeah, I'm strong-army people. Every time I say, you mean this, or how about using that word instead so people understand what you're saying? Oh, you're trying to strong-arm. Or when I say, well, with literally 17 years of working in IT, perhaps you want to try to take this plan in regards to your computer to ensure that you have a nice upgrade path and ensure that you don't have to continually spend further money on upgrades. So I'm gonna fucking take criticism from low IQ fucks. And yes, YR, you might be a fun guy, you might be a nice guy, but you are a low IQ fuck. I'm gonna fucking take criticism from you. I'm gonna take your observation as fact. Just like fucking Scott. And the whole thing, I talked about this in the past, but the whole thing with Scott, with me, was I was being featured on shows, and I'd been featured on shows long before Scott even showed around. But me, knowing actual facts, being able to discuss UFOs without sounding like a fucking moron, no, because Joe probably sent them a message when he said, "Oh, I'd love to be on Final Frontiers." Yeah, we'll have you on sometime. He thought that was like probably like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the next host and stuff." And because I'm talking about stuff and sounding intelligent, sounding knowledgeable, and capable of discussing, combined with the fact that I reminded him of this guy that he knew in, I guess it was elementary school, at least when he talked to me about this, that's what he said, that was apparently, he relates him to me. Why? Apparently this guy was confident, he was intelligent, he didn't give a fuck about other people's opinions, and at some point, I'm guessing because of that, he made Scott look like a fool. But Scott does that on his own. So, and I've experienced this myself. It's just like people didn't like me in school for exactly that. It's just like, yeah, but I'm not fucking caught down in my, in all these fucking insecurities like you faggots are. It's like I'm confident in my abilities because I know they fucking work. Like, just because you're a bunch of pussies, oh no, I can't accept it at all. How dare you be happy and confident? I'm never gonna fucking let you do this, blah, blah, blah. So it's just like, come on, guys. Like, you really think that I'm gonna fucking even flinch at this shit? Most of these faggots here in this community literally are half my age. And they literally are 90% dumber than I am. And that's a fact. That's a fucking fact, straight up. Now, a lot of these people will try to talk big, like, oh, if you were here, blah, blah, blah. No, bitches. If I was there, you'd probably be dead and I'd be in jail. It's as simple as that. If you were up here, no one would ever hear about your fucking disappearance. And it's as simple as that. But hey, if you want to try to say, oh, that's a threat, blah, 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 it's like, okay, well, try to prove that in court. Because I know for a fact that you can't. You don't know the law. What I do know is self-defense laws, especially in Canada, which are much more inhibited than the United States. The United States has some beautiful areas. Castle law in America, somebody mistakenly steps on your property, you have legal right to blow them away. That's it. So, come on. These people and, Scott and Y are just a little bit of this example, because there's so many more. They're so fucking stupid that they actually think that they can tell people reality. They can mold reality to what they claim it to be. And we know that about Scott. We know that he tries to utilize, again, the repetition. Remember that? I brought that up several times. The repetition. You know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying? Come on. It's fucking pathetic. And it's just, it's going to come to an end. That's the bottom. Whether you like it or not, whether you guys like it or not, it's coming to an end. Okay? You, Scott, for example, have been on this fucking broken record for literally 6 years. If you dare go after me, I'm coming after you. People go after you. You don't do shit. You say the same thing. Oh, well, if you do this, then you keep moving the goalposts. I'm coming after you. You don't do shit. Dude, you've got nothing. Look at the SEMO situation. The SEMO situation is probably the fucking most hilarious thing, really. Because apart from actually being slandered as a pedophile, which nobody of right mind actually probably ever thought that you were, but regardless, well, and there's a little confusion there because you are a little paranoid and you've shown some weird signs as to those accusations. But regardless, the onus was on SEMO, who made the claim to produce that evidence, which he said he would do, and he never did. And now you're chum buddy with him. Interesting. No, see, man, you don't seem to understand Power Trip. I'm not stuck in my ways. I know I'm right. It's just the bottom line. Look, okay, let me postulate this to the audience here. We'll take a brief break from YR and Scott. But Seaman here, or Seaman, I guess I'll call you Seaman, he's trying to use the logical fallacy of, oh, well, opinions can be right, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, let's take a look at the most simplistic of analogies. You have a freak fuck who says having sex with underage children is perfectly fine. And you say, no, it's not, you fucking freak. I want to burn you on the stake because it's not fine. Well, one of those persons is totally wrong. One of those persons is totally right. So the individual that seems to promote intimacy between a child and an adult, their opinion is wrong. Simple as that. There is no arguments around it. There is no way to refute it. It's wrong. Okay? So when people say, well, everyone has a right to their opinion. Yeah, okay, fine. You have a right to think something. That's fine. But if you try to push that opinion, which is clearly legally, morally, and spiritually wrong, you're goddamn right that I'm not only going to call you out on it, I'm going to hold you accountable for it. And yes, there are absolutes. That is wrong. Ergo, Dave Rose is correct. Yet again. Okay, so, and again, you keep trying to use this as like, oh, it's a straw man fallacy. No, it's not. No, it's not. You cannot argue in favor of pedophilia. You cannot. It's as simple as that. You cannot. So, because of that, this is why you're proven wrong. Because you're trying to argue something that is inarguable. You're trying to utilize, again, moving the goalpost by trying to argue that it's a straw man fallacy, but I'm not doing that. Again, and again, I need a clip of Bullfrog saying that. If you can argue for pedophilia, I would love for you to do that in the chat there. Because until you can do that, your opinion means shit because you cannot argue that point. It's not a straw man. It's a perfect, relevant analogy that needs to be addressed. Until that point, you can't say shit. So, let's go back to the chat. Oh my God, this guy. Yeah, YR. If you want to call in, I would suggest that you do. Because I would like to hear your opinion. And you're not going to get wolf-packed. I've already explained this. I don't think I really need to. I know you're not going to, but you'd prove me wrong by calling in right now, wouldn't you? But that's the thing, though. Every time that you are confronted by just being called out or somebody pointing something out, you rage quit. But you're going to be back. You're always going to be back. And you're going to try to pull the same shit. Come on, Cam. Come on, Cam. Come on, Cam. Look, 2021 is, I told everyone about this. 2021 is where Dave Rose has drawn the line and says, no more stupid. Okay? No more stupid. I'm not tolerating this shit. Speaking of stupid, if you want to feel your brain collapse on itself, go check out Joe Cronin's Twitter feed where he's giving out his economic advice on the recent issue with the short trading of stocks like GameStop or BlackBerry. I'm sure that if you do understand mathematics and economics, your brain will want to compose itself and fall down into a massive singularity where everything in your vicinity just gets sucked in due to the lack of comprehension. Unreal. Okay, so Seaman, he says, Seaman says, also too hyperbolic for what I'm referring to, like I said yesterday. Why are we still going in circles, bro? I dropped it yesterday when you timed me out. No. It's not. See, again, okay, here's the thing. Actually, let me say your next message. Seaman says, Dave Rose is a closet liberal, which I find hilarious, and that clearly is a troll job, and which basically it disqualifies you now from really having any relevant sort of statements hereafter. Because if you're actually going to state that, knowing who I am, or not knowing who I am, because again, all you have to do is a little research, you're disqualified now. And then says you can't argue with them as you see in modern society. No, but see, the thing is though, this is the liberal mentality here. Argue. I'm not looking to argue. I'm looking to discuss and potentially debate. But because you are incapable of even living up to the minimal necessary and sort of exposing who you are, really, with your statements, I'll say this. If your next statement isn't in the chat, and I'll give you 5 minutes to do so, if your next statement in the chat isn't somehow disproving, well, actually responding to what I was stating previous, is that you have to make a statement basically disproving how pedophilia is bad, that what you call hyperbolic, okay? No. If you are incapable of actually arguing my point that I postulated and demanded a response, you're gone from this channel. I'm not even going to tolerate this because, again, either you're too idiotic to be here or you're just being a troll, and I have no time for trolls. Unless it's YR who wants to call in. So, YR, you want to call in? And it's funny to call me a closet liberal. I mean, I think that's more insulting than calling me a Nazi or fucking a fascist. Actually, the latter might be a last. Oh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome straight from the new state of Texas. Oh. Looks like the guy decided to hang up on me. I was giving him a great introduction. Why aren't you... Okay, well, let me call him back. See if he's going to answer. I was just giving you a great introduction. Why'd you hang up? Hello? I can't hear you. Okay, well, nobody can say that I didn't try to get him on the call. But that was the one and only YR, who was in fact trying to call in. Let's see if third time's a charm. Third time? A charm? Hello? Hello? Can't hear you. Well, that's weird. Apparently YR can't hear me. Let me just quickly check my settings here. It should be, I mean, everything's working fine for me. I can see all this. Apparently his connection is too weak. Deep in the heart of Texas. Do we have the YR on the show? No, I guess not. Oh, that's unfortunate. While we wait for YR to try to figure out his situation here, let's shout out to the one, the only Bird 2393 in their chat. Says, hey chat, what I miss? A whole goddamn lot. Feel free to call in if you'd like. Try to, be on the call here. Seaman says, Dave pulled it out of nowhere. We'll get to that. Hello? Hello? You not hear me? Hello? Well, Wire, I don't know what your problem is, man, but it's not working. It's not working. So back to what Seaman was saying. The lover of the white liquid says Dave pulled it out of nowhere, never mentioned pedophilia, just said that emotional arguments should be separated from logical discussions. Yes. And the thing is, though, when I stated, how about you discuss the emotional, because you have a lot of people who are mentally ill and thus emotional when they are proponents of pedophilia, for example. Oh, you know what they're calling it now? Minor attracted persons. Because they're trying to normalize it. They've been trying to do so for fucking 30 years. Don't tell me for a fucking second they haven't. I'm not saying you specifically, but the fact is that, yes, this has been something that has been in the, pipes for a long time to try to normalize this disgusting shit. Hello?
Here we go. Here we go.
My God, the man. I can't
So
believe
the problem was, remember I had the two different Skype accounts, so I deleted the one, and I fit a rage this
You
morning.
sound like
and
you're
then,
in a cave and you've got some echo going.
Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, you hear me better?
Much better. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, coming straight from the heart of Texas, the newest country planning to seed in 2022, we have Young Republican.
Well, you catching me up. Rockets are about to start, so you're special. You feel special right now.
I feel gloriously special.
I'll watch it while it's turned down. It's no big deal. But I heard you were disappointed at me.
Indeed.
No, honestly, I wasn't watching your show. I just tuned in because I saw some Skype messages from some people.
Was it birdies or was it bees that we're telling you? Because
It's a mix.
You got the hive with the bees, they buzz around, and you got the birds, they chirp outside your window. You never know. It's a lot of animal life.
Couple good guys that said to call in. Rose wanted you to call in and skim through, and
well,
I heard
was giving you the opportunity to address the statements I was making.
Well, I missed them. So what issues do we have? Because I don't want
Oh well, you've missed quite a lot of fire.
I want to make you mad.
Vitriol.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I skimmed through, and you were mad at me for and I was like, I better call in when I saw the messages.
Well,
when I saw the
first of all,
messages
bitch move fucking rage quitting your fucking own stream today. Okay.
Well, what do y'all want from me, bro?
Don't be a bitch. Don't fucking rage quit.
Let me make one statement, and this is basically all in that.
The floor is yours.
I just got mad because you're guilty of this too, and other people. It's either Keith, Scott, or SC Steve. Don't have him on your show. YR, don't have. I hear this all the time, and you know what I'm saying. It's really just those three guys.
I don't know what you're saying because the fact is, I never said actually don't have him on your show, and I can show you the screenshot of what I showed fucking Nick. It was basically
just
said
overall, not today. I'm just talking overall, and then just all the time.
Nobody's told you not to have him on or anybody on, but people have made suggestions. It's like, oh, you want to be taken seriously? You might not want to do this, and you're like, how dare you strong arm me and tell me what to do? It's like nobody's trying to do that. Stop trying to make it look like that's what's happening. You're not the fucking victim, so stop.
Well, it's just like particular those. Well, besides Scott, but SC Steve and Keith have never wronged me. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's fine. But you know what? Don't get offended when somebody doesn't want to fucking associate with Keith, okay? And then fucking try to start shit like, oh well, Keith's always been my friend, so how dare you say this shit? I'm gonna quit this fucking stream now. It's like
you want to know why I have a soft spot for Keith?
I don't care really.
Well, it hits deep because he's in the home, right, or whatever, and I was in not a similar home, but I was in the boarding school. Rules and just monthly visits from the parents, kind of similar. So I feel, obviously we're not in the same pond, but similar type of living situation. With staff and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's but obviously the other shit is obvious. But Rose, what issues do you have? with me. Let's clear it up. I
Before we continue, I'm just going to verify for the entire world that semen, the sperm sucking cocksucker, is truly the idiot that I thought he was. He's like, yeah, ignore the previous statement where you lose again, liberal. First of all, there is no losing in regular discussion. That is what a child thinks when it comes to any sort of interaction. There's going to be a winner and a loser. No, that is actually what a literal loser thinks. So, no, that's not the case at all. And more importantly is that even, I mean, shit, even some people have been more accurate in describing me, my political leanings and stuff, than using liberal. Of all philosophical stances, to use liberal on me is like saying the sun is a Rubik's Cube. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, asshole? It has nothing to do with it. This just proves to me, and should now prove to everyone else, that you literally are fucking garbage trash. And, you might think you're funny and all that, but you're gone. You're done. And that's it. So, if you are the loser that I think you are, you'll probably make some fake accounts. You'll probably come back on and, try to say a few things, but you're going to just get removed, as always. But really, wow, you can't even. But hold on, I just got to finish. The fact is, this motherfucker still can't fucking argue against pedophilia. That proves that he's the liberal, because we know progressives actually support pedophilia. Sorry, YR, please continue.
Well, that is true, but you banned SEMO in the chat? Is that who you were talking about?
No, it was Seaman.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. I thought SEMO was in the chat. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Oh, well, you shout out to the 50 people watching. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for Dave Rose
50
for.
people, wow, incredible.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that calls for me to roll up a joint. So please continue with your statement.
What kind of papers do you use? Like those raw papers? You just use regular hemp?
I just ran out of those. Unfortunately, the fucking thing. Well, maybe I just ignored the warning because they have that little paper that's the warning. It's like, oh, by the way, you're getting low on papers. You might want to get some. But yeah, I'm out of. I've got to fucking use some stiff papers. But I usually like really thin papers, either raw or.
Ooh.
I mean, if I need to, I'll smoke zigzags. But Rizlas, I like Rizlas.
So you can roll a J with one single paper, like a nice one, right?
Oh yeah, I can. I can roll one,
art.
2. Like you name the number of papers, I'll roll it for you.
Because I used to have to put like 3 papers together and like roll it on a table like a burrito. It's just hard, right? It's got to have nails and shit.
Like a burrito? Was it that big?
Well, no, I just didn't know how to roll like that. I needed like 100 papers to get. I don't know. The weed fell out. Do you make a boat at the end? Do you tie a knot? Like tie the little twisty or?
Yeah, I twisted at the end.
While you're rolling it?
Well, at the end.
Or...
Once it's all fucking put together.
Oh, because I've seen like people make a boat and they twist the end first and then they put the stuff in there. It's easy.
No, that's fucking gay. I've seen people do that. Like fucking, they put the filter in at the end. You fucking faggots! Are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna put the filter in at the end? No, it's about structural integrity, and you gotta fucking understand this shit. You just don't fucking put that shit at the end. It's gotta be in there at the beginning. It's like fucking you don't make a house without a fucking foundation, without pouring one. How dare you fucking try to roll a joint without fucking packing that filter in first? What is this, like barbarism? Oh, you know what? I gotta fucking, that convinces me, YR. I'm gonna have to do like I don't know, like a Zoom call or maybe fucking something to fucking educate people how to fucking roll a joint. Like,
well, they got the machines, like
a seminar or something.
You know those rolling machines? Those come out pretty good.
Yeah, and when shit hits the fan and fucking, there's civil war and shit, you gonna fucking be able to power those machines to roll your joints for you? I want to, again, it's just like, and again, You give a guy a fish, he'll eat for a day, but you teach him to fish, and he'll fucking eat for life.
It's true.
Just like with and people have been saying this about fucking making cooking streams and stuff. That I should fucking do that because quite literally, there's a lot of fucking dumb motherfuckers out there that don't know the basics. But if you can teach them the basics, these people will at least be able to feed themselves and know how to at least cook. So,
What is that? A nice Tide stick you're using over there? Tide stick? You know
no,
what
I
I'm
just I was rolling a
Budapest.
joint and the weed fell out, and now I'm just fucking like it fell a little bit fell in my pants, so I had to fucking like stand up and.
Wait, I caught something earlier, and this is random, but were you saying that possibly I was sexually molested as a child? Were you saying that I was that? Due to my comedy behavior or something? Did I hear that or no?
I don't think I said it. You were molested,
You know what I'm
but-
saying? I've never been. No, I've never.
Well, your sexuality
that.
is questionable. Let's just say that.
It's a gimmick. Come on, man.
I don't
more
know
about
about
Thor
that.
than
Like
anyone
Buffalo
in this
Bill,
community.
Wild horses.
You don't like that?
You know?
You don't like that? You don't like when I do that?
No, it's not that. It's it's funny, but
That's the comedy. I'm a comedy guy. Come on. I don't
okay,
have.
well, we never see a female with you in the vids.
Well, you know how females are for like this. You can't tell any chick about.
Yo, that fucking pussy and ass that you supposedly bought. I say you just fucking killed somebody and carved that off them.
Well, it's part of the whole Buffalo Young gimmick, the new gimmick in community. That's why.
No, but you're here to address
Yeah.
the
Yes.
topic of the fact that as soon as Scott gets criticism on him, you immediately take a side. How dare you and this and that, and then like, dude, like you are puppet master confirmed, and you are trying to treat him as your pet. And when you don't have control over how you can, because like if it's threatened that he will go away, that's your toy. You're gonna lose your toy. So of course you're gonna fucking come to play defense for him, which you did, and you're gonna start to spout out this absolute
extent.
fucking, garbage, total false shit.
I did call him out for stuff last night when we were live. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just a big love fest, but hear what you're saying. I personally, and I stated this before, I don't wish jail time on anyone unless they rape children or they kill my family.
Okay, address
Other than
this. Address this. You were saying things like, okay, well, these people, say Nick, me, Ken, don't want anything to do with Scott. So we shouldn't even mention the guy. Now, here's this is where you're proving that you're lying here, okay, being disingenuous, because you know that whether we talk about Scott or not, he's not going to stop. Okay? So when you say, well, wolf packing and like, you guys are hypocrites for just mentioning this and... No, dude. No. Okay? You're just playing defense on something that's indefensible. The fact
Can I
is,
make Yes.
you know that if we ignore him, we're going to get something that makes fucking Ken's best, New York's best time seller look like a fucking pocketbook. We're going to get fucking constant harassments. We're going to get streams against us that literally go for 12 hours straight, okay? It could be anybody. It could be me, it could be you, it could be Ken, could be anybody, okay? So don't fucking tell me that if you don't say anything, Scott's going to go away. Okay, Scott's been given that opportunity multiple times. Scott's been given the opportunity to fucking work things out multiple times. Scott's been given so many fucking different deals multiple times that you to even try to defend him is worthy of a war, dude. Okay? That's
I hear what
where
you're
you're
saying.
wrong, and that's where you need to recognize where you're wrong.
I'm going to make a statement before I forget. I hear what you're saying. Of course, obviously, you're right to an extent because, yes, the patterns with Scott, the puzzle pieces, everything. He does, says, oh, he's going to go away, and then he comes back, goes away. I get what you're saying. But recently, your stream, you did the number 1 episode of Power Trip, which was, about a week ago? Nikki did a stream a week ago. This was fresh off the Glock clips and all that shit. You know, the worst of the worst that Scott basically, right? Then recently, Scott was on Iceman show with Ken. Then he did the chapter 1. So basically, he never technically did a stream addressing none of y'all's stream. So to me, I was like, all right. Of course, in the back of my mind, which you said was in my mind, I was like, all right, this guy's gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? But since he didn't do he did the chapter 1 a couple days ago, mentioned nothing about drama, and that was fresh off basically the NHF that was about him, and then the other show with Nikki, which he's saying he didn't watch. And I kind of believe him because I had explained to him yesterday on my show what happened on the Nikki show 2 days ago with you and Ken and them. I explained to him what happened basically.
He was watching. Don't sit there and fucking pretend.
Well,
like
but you get what I'm saying. That's what I'm going off of. He hasn't said anything on his shows. Yes, of course we dove into drama last night on my shit, but that's what I was going off of. Of course, I'm not retarded. I know that. Yes, Scott. That's what I was saying. It builds up. That's what I was telling y'all. I was like, it's gonna build up.
No.
I mean, the talking about him part. I mean, like when people talk about him, yeah, he might.
No.
But
No. Stop this shit. How old are you? How old is fucking Scott? Again, do I need to continually point to myself as being the stalwart and staple and example that people should be looking for? Yeah, it sounds arrogant. But guess what? I went away for a fucking year and had people constantly talking about me in very disrespectful terms. What did I do? YR, you tell me. What did I do in that entire year?
You ignored and lived your life.
Exactly correct. Now that is what an adult does. Okay? So,
Yeah.
for all these people that say, no, I'm the realist, You want to be real? Be real. Be a real adult. Be a Dave Rose. Okay? Because nobody who's gone through this shit can say that they've done what Dave Rose has done. Nobody. And that's the example that everyone continues to ignore. Oh, well, just do this with Scott and do that with Scott and do that with Scott. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
I did look pretty bad the whole day yesterday, Ryan. Knew better. I mean, Scott wasn't drunk yesterday, so we had fun. But
I don't know about that because he's saying that he's going to go to the hospital, and the next thing is like, oh, you guys maybe get drunk, blah blah blah.
Well, he said beers, but I didn't really count.
Why do you keep playing defense for the guy? Is it because he's your toy and that you're fearing to lose your toy? Is it because you actually fear him that he's going to do something? Is it because you're just so desperate for friends that regardless you'd even take him? Do you feel sorry for him despite the fact that this guy will literally sell you out in a fucking second?
Well, it's a mixture of all of that.
Can you make Dave Rose understand?
It's a mixture of all of that. You said it best just now, pretty much. Like, I don't hate the guy, but then I obviously know, I obviously know he's been a dick to me a million times. And, I don't know, it's just, I guess I'm used to Scott, I guess. Like, I know it's not day to day, it's not week to week, it's second to second with Scott,
You took a huge offense at when Nikki was doing his video, Ken was on there, and then when I went on there too, and you somehow construed it as some, I guess, either as an attack on you or you saw your toy threatened. You saw your toy threatened. You weren't going to tolerate that. And therefore, no, you don't get to attack Scott. I'm going to make sure that I keep him around because, he makes me feel good, or at least I've got content. I don't know exactly what you're doing.
he makes me feel like shit. But like the times when we get to sing and dance and stuff like that, like partly yesterday, it's like all right, you know what I'm saying? Bearable, but it's fun for me when we're obviously a little drama, but when we're dancing, we're rapping together and stuff like that. It's not that bad, but the bad outweighs the good at the end of the day.
So basically, this is, what is it, Stockholm syndrome or something? Because it's like the beaten wife. Oh, well, he loves me. He just beats me because he loves me. Right?
I don't know. It's more of like, the mutt dog that was kicked out. Your keys to the community, your SC Steves, and I see him in the corner. Because I used to be in the corner in the community all alone, So I see your keys, I see your SCs, your RPs.
No, but the way you came out yesterday, it was just like, these
It's
guys,
pretty
have,
rough.
you Ken and Nick and Dave, they've committed this huge wrong and stuff. So, I'm here and I don't give a fuck, and like, we're gonna support you, Scott. And no, you don't. Sorry, Wire, you're done. You don't get to play two sides anymore. This is 2021. The stupid is over. I've already declared this. The stupid is over. There's no more playing both sides, blah, 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 trying to, just kidding, not kidding. No, there's no more of that. You pick your sides and you stick with it. You don't get the fucking, try to play both sides.
I'm on my side, though. I don't want to be on their side.
No. You're like your fucking fellow Texan, Bush Jr. said, you're either with us or you're with the terrorists. So you get to choose. But that's the thing, though. You're going to be held accountable for what you choose. Okay? Scott is going to lose here. Okay? So if you're going to associate with the Scott, you might want to keep that in mind. But the fact is, Scott is done. Scott is done. Scott is lost.
When Scott goes down, we're all going down together.
No, okay, this is another thing I'm going to fucking, take a pick with you. First of all, are you fucking retarded? Because that would answer the question as to why you would even make that statement. If Scott goes down, we're all going down? Please, illuminate me as to how that could be possible. Where the logic might come in, where that actually might occur. I'll mute myself even.
Yes, YR, please respond. Well, last night's show, Scott stated, he doesn't, and multiple times besides that, he's stated he doesn't pull the trigger first, meaning, reporting to police, stuff like that, until it happens to him. And stated a couple times, you know what I'm saying? We all going down together, basically.
Yeah, I'm aware of his statements. I have several recordings of them. What I was asking you was because if you're stating them as fact, I'm sure that you must understand how they must be justified. And I'm asking you to please explain it to someone who's stupid like me.
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I have no...
No, see, this is where you, again, prove yourself where you're playing both sides. Okay, no.
I'm not playing both sides.
Oh, good for him to see. No. What do you mean by what you just said? Can you back up what you just said? You said, well, if one of us goes down, we all go down. Please explain. Please respond.
Well, like I just said, Scott's going to pull the trigger once the trigger's pulled on him.
Okay, you're saying words like the sun comes up in the morning and goes down at night. First of all, can you cite any fucking information, any evidence that might back up what you're fucking saying? Or are we just going solely on what Scott told you?
Scott told me.
So,
no evidence.
Yeah, that one example repeated basically hundreds of times over the last 6 years. Have we yet seen something from Scott?
No, because no one's pulled the trigger on him yet.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Not like, not
like. I went to the cops. I went to the cops. Evidence was shown. Fucking Tiffany's gone to the cops. Evidence fucking shown. Fucking,
What do they do to Scott? Nothing. Scott's still able to go on the internet, so...
No, wait.
We've all gone to the cops on Scott.
What do you mean? Oh, Scott's able to still go on the internet. But don't attack him. Don't attack him. So what? You're playing both sides again. Also, Festlove, great point. What trigger does Scott have to pull on his question? Then he says, what's up, champ? Oh, he's referring to Casey.
trigger of starting to take people's names and reporting them to police, filing reports, harassment reports, whatever.
Well,
That's the
if
trigger.
in fact it was factual, because people have been moving on him. Tiffany made the report. And the fact is, he said, if anyone dares files a report on me, I'm going to see them in court. Which, again, just proves that, A, he's a fucking idiot, just like you, who doesn't know the fucking law. So, no, you're not going to see them in court. You're going to be charged by the police. So, that is actually in process, and he hasn't done shit. So, yet again, why, please tell me how, if one goes down, we all go down. You keep saying, oh, if he said that. So are you that stupid that you feel that he actually has power over you? That because he could say, I'm going to threaten you, YR, that you're actually going to feel threatened? While he's stuck in fucking Fort McMurray, this fucking dead-end shithole, while you're down in fucking lovely Texas? You really think that you're at risk?
You know I'm scared of Scott, so does Ken. Y'all know I am.
Oh. So
You didn't have
why are you
all the
continually?
people that was on the
Then
phone
why
this
are you
morning,
saying
Jake
this bullshit of if one goes down, we all burn? First of all, you got to prove your fucking point. It's like when you were talking politics with me. Well, CNN said this. I'm like, well, based on what? Well, CNN said this, and I'm like, well, based on what? You can't answer a simple fucking question. A simple fucking question.
should come
Based
in my
on
life or
what? So I'm just going to
someone-
listen to somebody. Well, Scott says we're going to burn. Okay, based on what? Well, he said it. I'm fucking
Someone-
Devious Stavros, okay? I am literally the smartest person in this community. Yes, Travis, you might have said that fucking Himmelfarb is the smartest. Maybe under certain technical conditions, we'll accept that as an answer. No problem. When it comes to logic, discussion, debate, and politics, there's no one better. Ooh, yeah, no one's better. Dig it. So YR, please respond.
I don't know what to say. I mean, my YouTube channel's gone, so I won't.
Yeah, we've heard that before, and you've come back again, okay? Stop trying to play a victim. First and foremost, also, stop playing defense for Scott, okay? Stop.
All right.
He's not your toy, and he's pulled this on himself. Now, the problem that I have with you is that you went to defense for him. Look, yes, you've done that in the past. And yes, I will criticize Nick and Ken for constantly defending you. But the thing is, though, at the drop of the hat, you go from one end to the other. Scott threatens you, you go to fucking run to help. Oh, he's threatening me. And as soon as Scott's getting, criticized for his actions, you go right back to Scott. You can't have your cake and eat it too. So you have to choose sides. Don't expect any further fucking sympathy here because you're not going to get it. Everyone, look, Scott right now is totally exposed. Totally. There's nothing, it's just going to keep getting worse for the guy unless he just decides to fucking do the right thing, okay? So he's going to keep getting exposed. Everyone that keeps being associated with him is going to get exposed. And people do like you, but they realize that you do play both sides. And you're going to be forced, actually. It's going to come to the point where you're going to be forced to decide, what do I choose? Do I choose the guy that literally, has destroyed his reputation in this community and really is a scummy guy? Or do I choose these guys that I fucked them over like Ken and all these other people, but they like me because they realize that, yeah, I'm a lovable idiot. When it comes to that, YR, what are you going to choose?
No hard feelings side. Or, y'all side. Whatever y'all call it.
So, first and foremost, you can't come to
Thank you,
anybody now to complain about Scott, okay? Nobody wants to hear your complaints about Scott because the thing is, though, it's active. This is not something that just happened. You're choosing to hang around with him, and when you fucking deal with that, you're going to have that problem. So, you can't come to anybody no more to fucking complain.
I hear you loud and clear.
But are we going to continue to see it, or what?
No. I hear you. I'm on your side. But
No, but that's the thing, though. Nobody's asking for you to be on their side. And nobody's asking you. Like, that's the thing, though. When I sent that message through Nick, I wasn't telling you couldn't stream with him. You couldn't fucking, like, you couldn't talk about Scott. You're like, okay, bye. Bye-bye, or whatever. Thank you. And then you fucking ended the stream. I didn't tell you nobody about fucking who you could stream with and shit. What I was telling you is that I was fucking not pleased with what you said, about fucking Ken, Nick, and me in regards to really basically just coming to play for Trump. Coming to play for fucking Scott and playing defense for the guy when he was undefensible, okay? When it was impossible to defend what Scott had literally previously done. Remember, what is it, a week ago, this guy was literally explaining how he was going to murder people and said this is literal fact. Okay?
Sure. One thing, though, this isn't a deflection, but you did state a couple minutes ago, anyone associated or hanging around Scott associated, well, I don't know if you use the word associated, but basically people around Scott, like, whatever, right? Me. There's really one other person that hangs around Scott and stuff like that. Will he be punished?
No, there's no punishment. It's the fact. That's the thing, though. There's no need for punishment. The fact is that when people start to see those who have stayed to hang around Scott, they'll see. They'll see who's a problem. They'll see who's somebody that they don't want around themselves, don't want around their streams, don't want them in their chats. They'll see these people. Those that choose to stay with Scott will basically just be confirming that they agree that his method is acceptable. And there's nothing acceptable with what Scott has done and what he's created in this community. In fact, somebody was saying this the other day, if Scott hadn't pulled that shit on episode 100 with the fucking cake, this community would be fucking entirely different. I don't think I could even fucking recognize what the community would look like if Scott had never fucking showed up. Scott is a blemish, a fucking cancerous mole on this fucking community. And apparently he's the same thing to his personal community, which is apparently why he can't go back home. So enough is enough, okay?
Could you say to an extent that the things he said, people who hang around him support the things he said by hanging around him still after knowing what he said recently? Could that make any sense at all?
What are you saying?
Basically, the Shannon situation. So anyone continuing to hang around Scott after knowing that he did that is basically supporting that act. But could that be?
Yes, yeah. I mean, at this point, you have to. It's no longer, oh, just kidding, not kidding. It's like, well, we know 6 years worth of fucking, of the same thing, really. And the same thing of like, oh, if you dare talk about me, I'm gonna do this. It's just like, it's always the same shit, and it's always fucking false because we don't. You got all these files on us, Scott. We've done tribunal. There was 3 tribunals on you before, okay? And you kissed the ring and bent the knee on every single one, and we've got that clip that I play all the time, which is one of my favorites, because you can hear your voice quivering. And, the next day, you went to the hospital. But, I did fake it for this. But, no, but I still had to go because of this other. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You had your chance. You had your fucking chance to basically leave. Okay? And to get your earnings. So it's just like, the old song, from Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Okay, and you didn't know any of that shit, okay? It's done. All of our patients are done. And some of us are going to do this in such a way which will be undeniable in its professional presentation. Okay,
Well,
this is not
that's why
this is not airing on Ken's channel. There's not going to be donations. There's not going to be jokes or fucking stupid sound effects repeated multiple times. This is going to be serious. Okay? No fucking rant line, no fucking bullshit. This is serious. This is going to be put in a way where, when presented to law enforcement, the evidence submitted is undeniable. It's sourced, it's referenced, and it is clear.
Well, let's make something clear right now. That's why I got so highly offended from the whole, oh, you comparing me to, people comparing me to Scott and put me in the same pond, because I do not support the Shannon situation. I do not support the, the private
no, I don't know,
information
because
out
you're
there.
not. You don't, dude. You're a worse fence sitter than fucking Cronin.
No, I'm saying, no, this is the truth. This is a full statement. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't support. That's why. Look, okay, hold on, let me rewind.
You have to really think about what you're saying, dude.
I took offense. No, because you just totally scrambled it. I took offense to the being in the same pond as Scott comment highly, because I am against the situation, like the Shannon situation, the whole private info being out there.
Bullshit. If you were, you wouldn't fucking associate with Scott. It's as simple as that.
Well, that's why I asked the question before about if you continue to be.
No, dude, you keep fucking you keep cutting him fucking slack.
No, that's not cutting him slack. I'm saying, that's why I asked you, is still hanging around him after knowing what he said, pretty much supporting the action. You said yes.
At this point, yes. At this point, yes. But dude, it's fucking 6 years. Okay? Even somebody 3 years ago would have still been able to say the same thing justifiably. It's enough. I don't understand how people don't fucking get this shit. How they're such cowards that I'll just let them fucking continue to abuse me. You think so little of yourself that you're going to let yourself be abused like that by a fucking nobody? By a piece of shit who thinks that he can bully you by spouting out fucking garbage and lies? Well, if you fell for his lies, yes, you should feel stupid. You should feel bad, because you take one look at this piece of shit and you instantly recognize that he is a fucking idiot and has the intellectual prowess of a fucking piece of gum stuck underneath somebody's shoe. And yet, some of these people come to me. You think Scott might actually be able to do what he's saying? Look, I'm getting real tired of this shit. Real tired of stupid people, okay? Told you, 2021, no more stupid. That is the motto of 2021. No more stupid. Okay? So when I say something, more often than not, people should just take that as truth. They should still look into it. Trust but verify, as Reagan said. But when people question what I say and then experience exactly what I foretold was going to occur, and they come and still won't acquiesce to what I told them they would experience, that's when we have a problem.
I think, was there 3 or is this the 4th tribunal or is this the 3rd? Because I know one was on the PS4.
This would probably be the 4th. But this will be the first proper one, because this will be done in a way that will be presented information by date, by order. So, for example, if I had an interaction with Scott on a certain day, the screenshots will be shown, the sound clips will be played, and the arguments will be made in regards to what was being stated in that. And for every instance of that, and we know that there's multiple, where in a day you might get multiple voicemails, multiple text messages, multiple videos, multiple images from Scott, we're going to break it down that way. And we have 6 years worth of stuff to go through. It's going to be a long fucking trial. But by the end, it will be undeniable that Scott not only has committed multiple felonies, but that any law enforcement agency that is ignoring taking him into custody is also guilty of disobeying the oath. So the fact is that things are going to be done in such a way that the evidence that will be presented will be irrefutable. And Scott chose this. Okay? Scott was given multiple times to just stop and leave. Okay? If you don't want to grow up, you want to keep acting like a child, well, you're going to be dealt with. What you don't understand, YR, which you were making this argument on that show with Ken
I want
and Nick.
I want to clear
was like,
everything up with you, Dave Rose. Here, I want to. Yes, so let's clear it up here. I don't want you to be mad at me anymore or disappointed.
I'm still going to remain disappointed in you. There's nothing you can do that can fix this. But please continue.
Here, check your PayPal, Dave Rose. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, can I be if I'm in the tribunal, can I be anonymous? Can I send it anonymous?
Well, kind of admitting that you're on air kind of defeats that whole purpose.
No, but if I decided not, like, do I have to be in the tribunal?
No,
or?
nobody says you have to be in the tribunal, and that was just Nick's idea. Look, dude, what he's just done to me alone is enough to fucking for me to run a tribunal on my own. Nick wants to fucking combine our powers together, so all the stuff that he's experienced as well and the stuff that he's been told, as well as the stuff that I've been told, can be combined into one big fucking court case that we can present factually, date by date, and, you know, given a proper argument and stuff, okay? No, your presence was never demanded. Nobody's presence was. And, you know, if anybody wants to be part of it, that's fine. But you were not expected, demanded, or, you know, encouraged. Well, actually, I guess Nick did sort of encourage you. But again, there's no expectations on you, YR. We don't need your fucking information. If you want to provide it, that's fine. But we don't need it because Scott's fucking done so much wrong. It's fucking, like, there's too much evidence. There's too much evidence.
See, I think, and this is an excuse, but I've said this, I've heard more over the line, the worst comment from one single person, Scott, over the years, than anyone else. But I don't want to say I'm numb to it, but when you do bring up the thing he did to you, and then I'm like in a situation and stuff like that, that kills me. I'm like, man, bro, you're right. Obviously, it's not a question if you're right or not, but like, all right, man, they're doing the stupid shows, even if me and Scott are getting along, it's really not worth.
One thing that we are telling people is that regardless, is that if you want to submit your testimony, and this goes to everyone out there, if you want to submit testimony in regards to your interaction with Scott and why you are concerned, you can submit that anonymously. That's fine. You're not going to be revealed on the fucking tribunal. We can take care of using the voice manipulator to change your voice, so you will not be identified. And if you want to just tell us basically how you first interacted with Scott and what happened in regards to you feeling that you were threatened, that you were sort of cornered, any sort of harassment that you experienced, you can definitely provide. It could be in an email, it could be in a voice clip, and you won't be identified. If you say, I don't want to be identified, you won't be. But this is important, okay? This is not a joke. This is serious, is that you can count on me and Nick to keep your anonymity, okay? You have our words on this, and unlike Scott, you know that our words are worthwhile. You know that our words can be held to account, and we would never do that because this goes bigger. This is bigger than all of us. This has reached a situation where this community, at one point, which was so joyous, so fun, has become so toxic, specifically because of Scott McKinnon, that it is intolerable. And now things are going to be done. There are some of us that actually have the balls to do things. Most people don't, or most people don't even know where to start, which we're going to fix with this broadcast, with this tribunal. But the fact is that this could be a great place. People could even with how shitty WWE is, and I haven't watched in fucking months, but people keep telling me it's shit, is that it could still be more enjoyable than the garbage that Scott has brought upon this community, the constant dread that some people have to fucking having to even interact with him, to walk on eggshells to deal with the guy. It's unacceptable. It's not going to be tolerated any further because Scott already had the opportunity to fix it. And he chose not only not to do it, he chose to fucking get on the offensive and fight us. Okay, well, guess what? You're done, Scott. It's over. Okay, you don't seem to understand this. You claim, oh, I'm leaving. Oh, I'm going to the hospital. You don't even fucking disconnect from that fucking stream. You stay on all fucking day drinking. Oh, I guess my throat isn't closing up on itself anymore. We see through your shit and you're done. We're tired of this.
Any clips of that, by the way?
Well, you made your
No
channel.
one got any.
Well, that's the thing, though. That happened earlier today, but don't think for a second there aren't those delicious little sparrows out there who are constantly paying attention to things and recording things. So just because I haven't heard from them just yet doesn't mean I can't get that clip.
You got me to rage take down my channel.
Yeah, I did. That was me. And that's another thing. You have to be held accountable for that. Are you a bitch? Are you a pussy?
Sometimes.
No, that's not. No, you're a fucking Texan. You guys fucking killed those fucking dumb Mexicans. You should stand up for fucking your your Texan heritage. So, fucking be a man. Come on, man.
Well, I'm scared of you and Scott.
Well, you have nothing to be scared of. First of all, I like your dad more than you do. Well, I like your dad more than you. So that alone already protects you, okay? So you're not going to get fucked with by Dave Rose. I don't fuck with family. And, again, I like your dad. So, but I will verbally spank you, okay? I will verbally spank you over the internet and make you understand that what you've done is bad. You bad boy. So, again, you're not in any way close to in danger, okay? And I already told you that fucking years ago. It's like, no, man. You might have fucked with my Twitter, but I'm not gonna get you swatted for fucking taking down my Twitter. Now, Scott, though, didn't Scott say he was gonna swat you? Scotty Swatty. Scotty Swatty. Yeah, I never said anything like that. And yeah, there was that one time like, oh, Dave Rose said, oh, come up on me. It's like, yeah, I said, what if somebody came up on you, YR? It didn't say like, I didn't say like, I am Dave Rose and I am sending a hit squad to Houston, Texas, to this location where these 4 individuals will step out and complete the assassination of YR. I didn't say that shit.
Well, hopefully it doesn't happen to anyone.
Well, again,
I don't wish death. You know what I'm saying?
Understandable.
Even Minnesota, even the people, that hate me and I hate them. I don't wish any harm, or I don't, it's just a stupid people. But the Scott shit is more than YouTube bullshit. I get it, guys. Like, I guess I looked pretty dumb yesterday and stuff like that, but like,
but that's the thing, though. You were playing. Why were you playing defense so hard for the guy? Because it's like, oh my God, these guys are talking shit about Scott. Like, oh, well, I've got to disagree because if you keep bringing up Scott, then clearly you're making him relevant. That is the fucking biggest cop out ever, dude. You know that shit. You know that shit is fucking wrong. Bringing him up? He brought us up first. You know this shit.
True.
So why say it, though? That's what I'm curious about. Is it just because you want to play? Is that why? Just say why. Come on, man. Like, people would rather you, like, because people know who you are, man. And the sooner that you fucking admit what you're doing, the more quicker people will be willing to accept you for who you are. So if you're just trying to be the trickster, the joker, the player, the puppet master, just come out and admit it, okay? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, because that takes a lot of work. I was just...
Dude, you were playing, pimp master extraordinaire for Scott that day. Like, as in, that shit, Scott, Ken, me, and Nick talking on a stream. You're like, oh, fuck this. Then you go to fucking start streaming with Scott, and then you fucking go all day, and, you're talking all that and stuff. And you're constantly fucking bringing up these defenses for the guy. And like, oh, well, if they're bringing you up, then, they're hypocrites because they're bringing you relevancy. And like, dude, no.
I think I had some shit twisted up. I shouldn't have. In the back of my mind, it's like I'm thinking y'all want the ultimate goal is for Scott to be in jail and can kind of explain it and in other ways more of help, more of like a...
Okay, hold on a second here. What if the fucking ultimate goal was to have Scott in jail? Maybe the death threats that he's made justify him being in jail, but maybe. So are you going to use that as an argument? So somebody makes death threats and, they're my little toy, so I don't want them in jail. Is that why, again? Because that's what it seems like to me, man.
Everything, it's just someone I know and associated with is going to go to jail, and that's weird for me.
Hold on. Faggot alert in the chat. Tony from Avia says, I've done hours and hours of content with Scott without any issues. I wonder why that is. All of you can bend the knee to the prodigy.
He was
probably a fake account. Regardless, Tony from Revere is a faggot, as is the one that chose to fake his account there in the chat. Please continue.
Knowing someone, whether we haven't met in real life or not, but doing shows, whatever, associating for years, kind of weird for me knowing potentially like he's gonna go to jail. Jail's not a joke, okay? I've been there. Scott's been there, I think. One day of jail is hell, total hell. People don't get it. People don't really understand. But I like brings me back to the point. I don't wish it on anyone, but it's weird for me to think like he's gonna go to jail. Yeah, I know. Even if he's been a piece of shit to me and others multiple times. It's just a psychological thing for me because I've been there.
Wait. Stop it, okay? Stop it about this. Oh, well, jail is bad. Yes, jail is bad. You know what's also bad? Threatening people's lives. And you know what the normal thing is? Is when somebody makes a threat for them to be held accountable. Okay? So, yeah, jail fucking sucks. But if you do something stupid that warrants you being put in jail, like Scott, then stop trying to fucking say, well, it's emotional. It's like, it literally is what fucking liberals do. It's like, oh, this jogger decided to fucking take a hostage and shoot all these people, but, oh, he grew up poor and he had no father, so we got to cut him some slack, and in fact, let's pay him.
No slack. Does it suck if your friend goes to jail? What do you think when your friends go to jail if that ever happened to you? What would you think?
If my friend fucking did something stupid after I told him to stop doing that shit, well, then he fucking deserves it. It's called personal responsibility. I'm sorry, asshole, but the fact is, if you know you're doing something wrong and you do it anyways, and you get caught doing it, well, you're going to have to pay the piper. It was as simple as that. Just because he's your friend. Say your friend murders somebody out of fucking cold blood. In cold blood. They just saw a girl walking her kid. He tried to steal the purse. She tried to fucking fight him, and he just shot her and the kid. Well, he's your friend. But you don't think he deserves to go to jail?
Mm.
Serious fucking
Can't
question,
argue
dude.
that. Can't
Serious
argue that.
question.
Can't argue it. I can't argue it. Right.
Look, and actually, you should know, but I doubt it because you don't know the law. Scott has committed literally dozens of felony crimes. Because every time he threatens somebody's life, that's another fucking charge. Okay? So, dude, the guy literally described how he would not only decapitate you, but to position your head in such a way that while decapitating you, you would see the quivering of your own body.
Oh, he said that about me? Or just in general? That's fucked.
About
dude.
you, dude.
God damn
About
it, dude.
you.
I missed that one, Dave. I just caught the swatting stuff, pretty much.
About you.
Ugh.
You should be listening to Nick's streams because he played that the other day and he played it in its full duration. And he clearly described how he was going to take a knife, slice your neck, continue to decapitate your body, but also to position your head in such a way so that
Right.
you would be looking down upon your body as your head got severed from its neck. You might want to catch up there on the news, YR. But no, Dave Rose. Dave Rose is such an extreme individual. He's so bad. He's the one-man wolf pack, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe should it be the one-man army that will not stop until justice is done?
Damn, Scott, you piece of shit. Why would you say something like that? I'm definitely going to be in the tribunal
Dude,
now.
you've got to listen to that clip because that alone was throughout the entire clip there was some gruesome explanations as to what he would do physically. But when it got to you, though, that alone stood out because it was so visceral, so I would say natural to him that if you were in front of him, he probably would try to pull that sort of shit. So in that case, yes, I would think that you would have a concern for your physical safety. With him being in buttfuck nowhere Canada, surrounded by fucking smelly Somalis, no, he's not going to be able to get out to where you are. And again, anybody that goes to Texas to fuck with Texas dies in Texas. It's as simple as that. So you've got nothing to worry about. So don't, stop worrying about him. It really is as simple as that, man. The guy can say all the shit he fucking wants. Dude, the guy can't even afford his own place. Do you think he can hire somebody to fucking come, commit a hit on you? Or do you think that he's actually going to be able to somehow find a Somali that's in Canada that will go down to the States to find you? Dude, he's got more hot air than the fucking Goodyear blimp. Stop playing his shit. And stop hanging around him. Because the bottom line is, any further point that you hang around him, that you associate with him, you're now proving that everything that's been discussed tonight, you don't give a fuck about. That you really are just playing both sides.
No, this is a whole new deal, Dave Rose.
No, I'm telling you, dude.
Now,
I'm telling you.
Can I continue my YouTube career with like Essie, Steve, and Keith?
Nobody. See, this
I'm
is
just
where
saying-
you're trying to pluck and play around,
No,
and
no,
you're
no,
not going to be
you're
allowed.
I know you're not telling me what to do. I know you're not telling me what
Exactly.
But
Who are we
advice,
talking
I'm
about
asking
right
for
now?
advice.
Who are we talking about?
Scott, but I'm
Exactly.
asking
So
for
nobody
advice.
else's name came into this conversation.
I'll just make sure.
And you know me, if I think I need to bring it up, I would have brought it up. What I'm telling you is that if you can, I'm not saying don't do this. What I'm saying is that now that Scott's totally exposed, that if you associate with him, you basically prove yourself to be a liar. That you know that you weren't speaking the truth here or in previous episodes. That basically you were just trying to hang around enough so that you could have him again on your side or manipulate him, whatever. So this is up to you now, what you choose to do. If you choose to no longer associate with him, people will say, you know what? YR is actually serious. I can actually take his word for what he says. You know, he clearly means what he says and he sticks by it and he recognizes what occurred. But if people see you go right back to Scott and can they're going to say, like, you know what, this guy's fucking, why even care about whether this guy's even threatened? Like, because, yeah, your life was threatened by Scott, and people came to your defense and tried to fucking protect you. But after this, if you fucking do this shit, nobody's going to come to protect you, dude. Nobody's going to give a fuck if you end up in a fucking ditch. Okay, and it might not even be Scott. It might be other stuff. Maybe something happens, but you'll not get any calls. Nobody's going to check in on you. Nothing. Because you would have been the boy that cried wolf and everyone would have fucking given up on you. It's up to you now to decide what's important for YR. Who's important to YR?
Yeah, you're right. Who is? Multiple people.
So you gotta remember that, man. Ken fucking came to your defense. Nick came to your fucking defense. Like, and there was others that I'm not going to name right now, but the bottom line is that people thought about you, okay, and you fucking wipe your ass with them. You wipe your ass with them. Totally disrespectful. Hit me up this morning
after I had deleted my channel. Can hit me up private, and we had a heart to heart. Feel like a dick for what I did to Ken over the years. You know what I'm saying, just in particularly him though. But it's like would I rather go sleep in a box outside in the cold, or would I rather go in a nice heated castle with you guys? You know, that's the choice right now. And obviously inside the outside box, outside in the cold in the box.
No, it's not. God. It's not like nobody's giving you any instruction on what to do. It's
no,
just
I'm not
like,
saying that. I'm just saying,
look,
like,
this tribe is going this way, and if you want to go with the other tribe, that's fine. But don't expect to come, running back to us, because, it's done.
You and Travis and Ken and others did have my back on the previous Scott shit weeks ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, shit. But your biggest fucking cheerleader is Ken. And Nikki's also a big cheerleader of you. He gives you more benefit of the doubt than I do. And we know his patience is quite thin, and his tolerance to stupidity is limited. I mean, look at me and being able to fucking be on calls with Bullfrog for hours. So I'm also a bit of a sadist with that. But regardless, is that you got these two guys that are fucking huge YR guys trying to defend you, and you come back and you shit on them by doing these sorts of things like you did yesterday. And you really got to fucking grow up, man. You really got to grow up. You're no longer Peter Pan. You can't stay the fucking kid forever. You got to decide what's best for you. Living like a man, not having to fear that some fucking idiot in butt fucking nowhere is making threats to you, and all you got to do is simply block the guy, and it's gone. Or are you going to continue to live in fear? That's only something that you can answer, man. And everyone's giving you the benefit of the doubt and tried to help you out. But when push comes to shove, and, sides are decided, you keep fucking playing with fire, you're going to get burned. And you've been burned by Scott, but you keep playing with them. And you got people on the other side who are saying, stop playing with fire. You can still come on our side. So it's up to you now. It's up to you to decide what to do. But fact is, Scott's done. We already know this. Scott's done. We're moving forward, me and Nick. That's it. There's going to be more people involved. There's going to be a lot of fucking testimony, a lot of fucking information submitted. And it's going to be done in a professional, serious way. No jokes, no donations, no fucking bullshit, no sound clips, no nothing. This is going to be done. Well, sound clips to prove, but no repeated sound clips multiple times. And you know who you are. And this is going to be done in such a way that, regardless, at the conclusion, it will be submissible as evidence to law enforcement. That is how serious I am. Any other words?
Um, it's funny, you and me in particular, minus everyone else, even Ken, was around in this community before Scott was here, and seeing, obviously you had back then the drama back then was like Joe getting mad at like a Tommy C or something. But it's crazy to see just Scott that ever since monetized this 96 or whatever, and then obviously the cake episode, all those years. Yes, obviously we could have chosen not to associate with him, drama club days, stuff like that. But funny if you rewind it, it was a whole different community before Scott.
It was a totally different landscape, and Scott ruined it. It's as simple as that. Scott ruined it. And now, come what may. And it's funny that Scott says, oh, whatever. No, not whatever, Scott. You've been saying this for the longest time. You haven't done shit because you can't do shit. But now you've pushed us way too fucking far. So now we're going to come at you with evidence. That's it. Simple fucking evidence that you yourself have so gratefully provided us. And no, you're not going to see us in court, asshole. Because making threats will have you arrested. There's no suing, you fucking idiot. Again,
I'm going to grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
2021, the year of no more stupid. You, Scott McKinnon, do not get to fucking try to tell the public that you're going to see somebody in court if somebody presents information that leads to a charge on you. No. And on top of that, for you to even mention that, and you've mentioned it for so many times over the last 6 years, that not only is it pathetic, you're going to be held accountable now. You don't understand the law. You claim you do, and then you get offended when people call you out for it. No, you are going to be reminded every single fucking time that you are not in control. And I do find it comical that individuals can not only use poor grammar in the chat, but try to insult me while doing so, which in itself literally is the most pathetic thing ever. I am multilingual, as everyone knows, and seeing as this is Power Trip, I can quite honestly say that chances are I'm better than most of you, and especially those that want to come in here and troll, because they only speak one language, and that's bad English. But that being said, though, we've got, I guess, YR back here.
Yeah, to grab a cold beverage.
So YR, the thing is that you are now watching the sun setting on the legacy, if you wish to call it that, of Scott McKinnon. Now, history will judge you on this, but the fact is, if you choose to side with him as the sun sets on the Scott empire, that is all upon you. You have no more excuses about being scared, about worrying.
Let's be clear, siding with Scott is basically what I did yesterday, correct? Chose.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay. You did somewhat side with Scott, but the thing is that what you did is that you went on the attack. And that was my big issue, is that not just that you went to defend the guy that literally was threatening you days before, but then you started to fucking criticize me, Nick, and Ken, A, for bringing him up when he's the one who brings us up, for B, saying that we provide relevancy to him and that we just have to shut up so that we don't do that and not be hypocrites, which is totally false, and you know that after 6 fucking years. And that, well, there was a few other things, but yeah, that's the gist of it. So, you went on the attack.
SC Steve made a good appearance. He was pretty much, I'm going to be on there and fuck you, Scott, but he still hung out with him. But
Oh,
he,
I'll say this now. He did. He did, I guess, send me I don't know, a contact or something on Skype there just a moment ago. Um, I guess he made a new account. But
oh yeah, I see him.
I will say this, SC Steve. When I did boot you from that call, I believed it was a joke. I was playing the joke, and I thought it was funny. But I did not understand or believe that you were going to be permanently leaving. So I will provide you with my sincerest apologies for doing
Cool.
so and creating such a misconstrued opinion of the situation. You're still
He pulled
annoying.
he still pulled a you. Like he left for real.
Well, yeah, that's good though. That's good though. But that's the thing though. At least first of all, he's way better. I've always said this actually. I've always said this. He's way better than fucking Jacob RP. And yeah, but that's the thing though. He didn't really make a big deal about it, but he sort of mentioned it. He's like, yeah, well, it was Dave Rose that did it, and yeah, it was me. But I didn't expect that it was like for real. So and I did think it was funny. But I will say that I will apologize for that. And yeah.
Can I ask you a question? This isn't
You
no
just did.
narrative. This isn't nothing. Oh, I'm gonna make a statement. And
You just
like
did
a
ask me a
response.
question, but you can ask me a
What's your-
second one.
Well, we give me your opinion. Don't take this the wrong way, anyone, but you think it's a good idea for Scott or for Junebug to be cool with Scott longer? Any longer? Did you reach out to him? Someone reach out to him? Should I reach out to him and tell him what's going on? Basically.
That's up to Scott. That's up to Junebug. I mean, the thing is, though, that Junebug needs to recognize that Scott is Scott and will try to manipulate somebody emotionally and other things. And I do believe that Scott has attempted such acts with Junebug. And I do believe that Junebug is to... I wouldn't say the word... Sorry, I got some hiccups here. Give me a second. Okay, I wouldn't say that Junebug is scared, but I will say that he is concerned in the way that Scott is acting, and as such doesn't want to make waves. But I do believe that, well, first of all, we already have witnessed how Scott has treated Junebug, and we've seen him do that to multiple other people. And those people who've experienced that have all stated that they feel intimidated by such aggression in the language and the mannerisms that Scott presents when he's talking to somebody. So I personally believe that, yes, Junebug does feel that way in regards to Scott, but won't say things, okay? Junebug is one of those types of guys that likes to be cool with everyone. He likes peace, and he doesn't want to deal with fights. So he'd rather just get along to get along than actually say, no, this treatment is unacceptable, and fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. I'm not going to be treated this way. So I believe that he is trying to avoid, sort of issues with that. And and you know what? That's very important that we need to discuss is the fact that a lot of the harassment that Junebug has faced in his chat with the doxing of his work and stuff only started to seem to come around when Scott started to associate with him. And yet that started to continue with every other show that Scott was associated with. So, shows with UYR, boom. You got the fucking doxers. Shows with, what's it called? With him? Fucking doxers. With Junebug? Doxers. And wherever Scott would go, the doxers would follow. Now, the fact is, and this is a fact, and I was going to hold this in my pocket, but, it takes an absolute moron to not notice this. But Scotty boy, you fucking idiot, piece of shit fuck. Scotty boy, do you not understand that you've clearly crossed that Malky's best of the worst crew? They're the ones that live in your fucking hometown. They're the ones that fucking probably have a phone book for the fucking community. You know, everyone who's lived there in the last fucking, because it's such a small little shit community, that they'll know fucking who's lived there and shit. And they know you. They're the ones who are fucking putting those names in your chats. Okay? It's not Cuddy Chris. It's not Ken. It's not me. It's not YRS. Dude, wake the fuck up. You fucked with people that you shouldn't have from your own hometown, and now you're dealing with that. Your paranoia should be self-explanatory, but obviously you're so far gone that you can't see it. But there it is. I mean, I could have fucking kept that quiet. I could have fucking, just continued to sit on it. But even a fucking moron, even an absolute fucking moron would have been able to determine that. Mr. Scott, man. Mr. CIA and FBI, man. You're the best investigator in the community, man. Really? No, again. And again, Dave Rose is the smartest guy in the community. So stop fucking around, Scott, because you are so transparent that you're fucking see-through. Please continue, Wire.
Unfortunately, I dove into the mothers that murder their children hole on YouTube and stuff recently. And a lot of the times they get let off with, being psychotic and they spent life in a mental institution. A lot of them. So all this different stuff they're being, what's the word? Like all the different psychosis, all those different diseases they get not prescribed, but diagnosed with. I've heard a lot of those same terms being kind of gone towards Scott. It's kind of weird. Just over the years and shit, being the psychotic, multiple personalities, that all interlinks with mothers that murder children. I mean, it's not funny, but it's pretty wild. When I was seeing, I was like, damn, bro. It's not reminding me of Scott. It's just like the stuff they were diagnosed with, like, people obviously know Scott has issues and stuff like that, but it was just kind of interesting to me. Like, okay, because you hear the word multiple personalities, blah blah blah, but you don't really think, like, I didn't really think, there's a lot of things you could be diagnosed with: schizophrenia, being happy one moment and just being a dick the next moment.
You know what? Now to think of it, Scott reminds me of somebody that I knew as a kid. Damn, this weed is good. Give me a second here.
Good God, you hate when I used to do
that. Difference is that this is good weed and not that Texas shit. Regardless. So I knew this kid back in the day. I knew him, I guess, from senior kindergarten until grade 3. And this kid basically had an older sister and a mother. His dad apparently had abandoned the family. And this kid lived in government housing. And according to him, he lived in a condo. He had a camcorder. Remember, this is back in this was 86. Having a camcorder back then, that was huge. That was fucking huge. This kid had, he claimed he had a camcorder. He had all these video game systems. And, he claimed that...
what?
Dude, he claimed that he had all this stuff and, he was just lying. because he was just, he was trying to make himself feel better about his shitty situation, and it was just, I don't know. It was, I equate it to what Scott is like because he embellishes truths. He embellishes things that aren't true, but then or maybe partly true, and then tries to make it sound like he's a lot better than, than he is.
Well, like the whole Cuddy Chris situation, like when Ken made the point, well, yeah, Chris found out the name, but that was after Scott found out the parents' name, which Scott never said or whatever. So, never brings up like the half truth thing or whatever.
No, I would say more so in regard. Okay, let's talk about this. Last year, Scott claimed that he was done drinking, that he was in AA, and in fact that he had moved back to Ontario to live with his sister. And in fact, at that point, he'd also published photos of him with I believe, his two nieces. And this was like at a pool party or something like that. Now, when he made this video, the dog, Tyson, that he's been around since he moved out of his old place with Kenny, the landlord, that got flooded during those crazy floods, to the new place with the new guy whose family's going through the divorce and shit. They've got the dog called Tyson. So he made this video.
Scott's dog, though.
Huh?
I think that's Scott's dog.
It's not Scott's dog. There was another dog. There was another dog at at Kenny's place, but it wasn't Scott's. And basically, he's making this video saying, "Yeah, I moved to Ontario to live with my sister. I've joined AA and quit drinking." And he's got the dog there. And just like when he shows when he sends the photo out that he's in a hospital, that he, I went because of my anxiety, blah, blah, blah. Or he says, I'm going to the hospital, I think it was today or something. It's an absolute fucking lie. And when you, YR, are quick to defend it, mental health and, give him the benefit of the doubt and shit. It's like, dude, this is the boy who cried wolf. He's a fucking liar. All he does is try to fucking get and garner sympathy. So you moving your mouth to say a word to try to defend him already fucking you're deserving of punishment for that, because you know what he's done and he's done it to you. How can you justify this?
Why did none of y'all fucking call me last night, bro?
Last night what?
It would have probably changed the whole fucking
last
thing.
Night
when
what?
I was live for 20 hours, like.
Because I got a life and I got shit to do? I don't know. Why don't you ask these guys? This fucking video was fucking out there. You could have heard it.
I was expecting, hearing this now, it's like that. I don't want to say someone should have called and said this, but someone should have called and been like, "Wire, what are you doing?"
Well, you gotta blame your birdies, YR, because they're not the ones who came to you. Apparently, you had to hear it through the grapevine. Ooh, I bet you're gonna lose your mind. Scott hates you, YR.
He really does hate me, right?
Well, he hates his life and he hates himself, so he just wants to be able to manipulate people to fulfill whatever he's lacking in his psycho, situation.
I know this is a small thing, but it really is a bigger thing. Like, when someone gets a link, when I used to get the link, I'll send him the corrupted. But he always used to say, "Oh, I got it from YR. YR Ken got that. Joe, thank you, YR, for that." He always did that, bro.
Oh,
and it's a small thing, but it's like a kind of a big thing too.
By the way, real talk. This is Pink Kush, 17 to 22% THC content. It's nice. It is. I don't know. This particular strain seems to be quite harsh because, I've been coughing a lot more than I usually do with other strains. So it's enjoyable. The The aroma's okay. Taste is
Kind of
somewhat
piney.
earthy. It's not the typicals of my assessment, which is potency, aroma, and flavor. Aroma and flavor are somewhat on the low here. Could be a lot better, but the potency is definitely where it needs to be. And it actually is like, at least the harshness wise, it's actually a little more harsh than I normally get. So yeah, it is making me cough a little more phlegm, and a little tar and stuff.
Uh,
But
is it piney at all, or is it like lemony, citrusy?
hold on, let me just take a.
You mentioned earthy.
Well, it's earthy aroma when you're smoking it, but aroma is what comes off it, right?
Right.
Well, okay, sorry.
Like the
It's got
pungent
an
smell.
earthy flavor, so once you smoke it, it tastes earthy. But when you smell it, it actually tastes somewhat. It smells somewhat sweetish, somewhat. It's a somewhat citrusy smell. It's more piney. It's more piney lemony.
Piney, right?
Yeah, piney lemony aroma, but the flavor once you're smoking it is more of an earthy tone.
The big piney, you know?
Yeah, I would. You know what? I would love just to go into fucking reviewing cannabis. I would love to fucking write articles, like serious articles on fucking the breakdown of the flavors, the aromas, like the consistency, the buds. Like I would love to fucking have that job.
Like a 420 vlog or like a 420 blogger.
Well, maybe
You know?
even work for High Times or something. But that's the thing, though. I mean, dude, the people who work for High Times are they're pros, man. I can't fucking, well, I might be able to stand with them, but I don't think I could be better than them in the sense that, like, there's so much talent there. And these people have been working on that magazine forever. And I used to buy that magazine just for its political articles, where they would talk about how the drug war in South America was just making fucking governments rich and shit. So, like, that was a big thing for me, too, about, that. But, I mean, if I could somehow write reviews on cannabis, I would fucking do it.
You never know, you know? Let's see.
Oh, Gorilla
Are
Strong
you-
is smoking some animal cookies. I hear that I think that particular strain is a little more abundant these days, because I think I've seen it more often advertised at some of the dispensaries that I've seen. But I'm not a fan of Girl Guide cookies. That's not a good strain in my opinion. And no, I have not tried Delta H THC, but that sounds fucking awesome. Wire, you had something to say?
I think that's the epitome. The Delta stuff, isn't that like is that a strain?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what this thing is. Maybe it's a THC extra concentrate, and it's just called Delta H. Or sorry, Delta 8. But
if I would like to hear from Ken, because I'd like to give him a formal apology. I mean, I really was a horse's ass, and I should have. Obviously, I didn't. Bro, I had Ken's side back when that Joe shit. When Joe did the fake hacking thing, I had Ken's side when that happened. Believe it or not.
you pick
people-
sides and then flip very, very quickly.
Well, the right side is the Ken side, and I already should know that, personally, because he has my back,
But
and
that's
he
the
does.
thing, though. What you did.
That's why it
Hold on.
kills me, Rose.
What you did yesterday was okay, so people start talking about Scott, and what you did was immediately not only just come to his defense, but you went on the offense for yourself. You went on the offense for yourself saying, well, if, these people do this, then, how dare them? And, like, I'm going to call this out and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, it wasn't just like you saying, well, shit, like, maybe you guys got to give, Scott the benefit of the doubt and stuff. It's like, no, how dare you even, and I'm sure you guys are now going to criticize me for having this show and stuff. It's just like, you went to become Scott's pimp and fucking, like, support his fucking narrative like you were the fucking leader.
I don't want to be the leader of Scott's narrative now.
Yeah, but that's what you did, and you got to recognize that. Is that you literally, instead of just
I
going
didn't
to his
think it through,
defense, you went on the offense and started throwing shots at me, at fucking Nick, at fucking Ken, all to defend this guy who had literally days before described how he was going to murder you and have you witness your own death.
I apologize. I do apologize, Dave, bro. I didn't think it through yesterday.
Dude, here's the thing, though.
There's no excuse. I can't. There's no excuse
Look,
for what I did.
You know what? You can
but...
offer an apology to anybody else if you want. I've said this for fucking years. I don't give a fuck about apologies. I don't care for them. I don't want them. I want action, not excuses. So if I see something that reflects your intent, yes, you stood up and you did what you said you were going to do. But words are meaningless without action. So if you mean what you say, okay. That's the thing, though. I'm a little naive from time to time, so I take people's words for it. But also, I'm a good guy. So, again, I take people's words for it. But the onus is on you.
I just want to be clear. I want to be clear going into this tribunal, and then after that, I'm not on Scott's side. I don't support that shit. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I won't be representing him. I will not be representing Scott. You know what I'm saying? No shows, no fucking, like the shit yesterday, for example. No more of that, man. I mean,
but that was reactionary.
The fun time's over. Fun time's over.
No, but the thing is, though, that was reactionary. You did that because what somebody said. So, compared to, say, Dave Rose, somebody throws something at Dave Rose says, fuck him, whatever. But no, somebody throws something and you're like, no, I'll show them. In fact, not only am I going to respond to this, I'm going to have Scott on my show. That'll show them.
Exactly what I did.
And
because I made the point. I said, "Oh, you got CNN over there talking about Trump, but I got Trump over here himself. Would people rather?" I mean, I did make that point, which was disrespectful, but I get what you're saying. I mean, I hear you loud and clear, and I'm glad there's a ton of people watching this so they can hear me say this. Say what I've been saying here tonight. And the fun and games is over. It's gotten to a point, obviously, I'm too stupid of a person to realize that I should have definitely reeled it back 2 weeks ago when Scott did make those comments. The last of what he said.
But why? Like but are you gonna be made to feel guilty again? And
no, I don't want. No. It's hard for me right now. It's tough for me, but
why is that?
It's like saying goodbye to an old friend or something forever type shit. You know what I'm saying?
A friend that stabbed you in the back. See, this is where people question your motives. This is where people question your motives. Because nobody who's been betrayed by somebody to the extent that Scott has betrayed, as well as the level of visceral that he's utilized, would ever say, "Oh, I'm saying goodbye to an old friend." This guy fucking threatened to have you decapitated. And this is Stockholm syndrome shit, man. You're actually believing that your fucking, your hostage taker actually values your safety. And you expect us to take you seriously, YR? This is suspect. Either you're fucking mentally ill or you're playing us.
I'm going to look that up right now. Stockholm syndrome.
Shout out to Jacob Blinkhorn in the chat. Jacob Blinkhorn is one of the resident.
He's a good guy.
He's a great
Yes.
guy, actually, and he is a resident cannabis connoisseur, extremely knowledgeable in not just flower, but concentrate and shatter and many other methods to deliver your THC and CBD enjoyment. So I'd
Man, you know what, bro? I'm not even I'm not even joking around, and I hope you take me seriously. I'm reading this fucking definition of Stockholm syndrome. Person who develops Stockholm syndrome often experiences symptoms. Here's the symptoms: post-traumatic stress, nightmares, insomnia, flashbacks, tendency to startle easily, confusion, difficulty to trust others. Um, post-traumatic stress would be obviously experiencing life-altering shit, stuff like that, or really bad shit, and having reminders of it would be considered the flashbacks. But it's possible. I mean, I stated I am scared of Scott, and you know what I'm saying? People know that. Ken knows that, bro. And
yeah, but it's already been explained to you that you no longer have to fear.
yeah, but like you were saying, I could have the Stockholm syndrome. Could that be possible with just like internet shit, not in person like experiences, like actually seeing with your eyes experiences, just like, I mean, or am I thinking too deep into it type deal?
No, I think you might have some validity there, but
Because I'm seeing flashbacks, post-traumatic. That's like war,
no.
seeing
Okay,
seeing
so
people die.
no, it's
And,
not that extreme. It's the fact that basically, if you're taken hostage by somebody, and you begin to start to empathize with your hostage takers, and in fact, you don't see anything wrong with what they did, but you actually support them for what they do, for not only taking you hostage, but you want to support them in doing whatever else they want to do. That's Stockholm syndrome.
but what if I don't? Which I don't. I
It
don't
means you're
support
empathizing
that.
with your hostage taker.
But I don't support what
You
the things
do
he said.
support.
Not the bad shit, bro. Not the Shannon shit. Not the killing me and stuff and your stuff. No one should support that.
You do
But why
support him
do
because
I?
you won't
Why
speak
do
up
I?
about it.
I don't even have an answer to myself why I still hang around or why I, associate with him. I can't even answer myself if I was asking myself. I have no answer. So, the Stockholm syndrome thing. I mean,
No, I'm
Did you,
telling you that. I'm telling you that basically.
you think I have that? Is what I'm trying to get to here. Seriously, without the supporting him, what he's doing part, but still sticking around type thing. Because what I know, no one can take away from me. I know I don't support it. People might think I support it by hanging around him after he said this stuff. Yes, I get that. Which,
Say that again.
like, what I know, deep down, what I know, people can't take that away from me because I know I don't support what he says and does. But the people that see me hanging around him, doing shows with him, like yesterday, probably think or do think that I do support the things he says and does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When you associate with people that do certain things, and you don't fight against them about doing those things, it's sort of tacitly, and that is to say, without mentioning, although knowing perfectly well, tacitly admitting that that's okay. So, again, it's just like,
Yeah, I don't want to.
you know when you hang around. I'll give you let old Rose tell you a story. When Dave Rose was, say, 14 years old, he was hanging out with a crew that obviously was much stupider than him. But a lot of them had this penchant to go and take a Sharpie and, tag something, right?
Mm.
And I always thought to myself, well, why? What, like, why you ruin, like, yeah, you find, like, a little space that's not fucking, it's like a blank space that you can use to fucking do some art or something. That's cool. But like, a newspaper stand, you're gonna tag that fucking the glass that people need to use to see the fucking newspaper. You just gotta tag that because fucking you're a bitch. Or fucking, you see a street sign that you're just gonna break down because you're a fucking, immature, piece of shit who fucking can't get out their fucking frustrations by living like a normal human. Like, it was fucking pathetic, man. Like, having to deal with people like that, seeing that shit. Fucking, I'm so immature that I'm just gonna fucking ruin something. Then fucking, taking out my aggressions in a more constructive manner.
You're right. Damn it, dude.
Closet homo Dave Rose. Let's see what they've been saying. Who's in the chat? Okay, so the eyeball. So it's the same account doing the eyeball thing. And shit, this has to go in the fucking books now. The Stockholm syndrome. That's fucking genius. I made a fucking great statement the other day. I made a new fucking saying. I can't remember what it is. Been smoking that weeds, but that is a fucking great statement. The Stockholm syndrome. Yep. That's it.
Damn,
Book it.
bro.
Fucking, that's copyrighted, and that's gonna go in the books. The Stockholm syndrome, and it's perfect. It fits perfectly. There's nothing more that you can do to make that more perfect. That's it. That's it. So Foul Mouse Nation says Dave Rose is the only guy that dated a chick from the community, but he's gay. Okay, yeah. And yet, Joe Cronin has a wife, but the amount of, homosexual jokes that he does makes me question his sexual nature. But hey, maybe I'm just imagining things. I don't know. So, YR, I believe you had something else to say.
Did I?
I don't know, you just said something, but regardless, the fact is that you're not being told to do anything. You're just being advised that if you continue on this way, you're gonna eventually find yourself facing off against people that are going against Scott. And if you're trying to defend him, he's gonna be indefensible. It's like, again, trying to defend a pedophile that, you just can't defend a pedophile. So, you got to decide on what side you want to be found on. Because the fact is that that Scott's done this stuff, and yeah, you might be concerned and scared about what he might try to pull. But understand that, if you're smart and you stand with those that recognize the situation and are fighting back against him, you're not going to have any problems because he can't go against multiple people. We already know that. He can't even go against one person. But when multiple people get together, he's scared shitless.
It's called a wolf pack, basically.
It's not. Stop doing that with the wolf pack.
No, I'm fucking around. I'm kidding. It's not the wolf pack. It's not. But listen, it's gonna be serious though, right? No fucking.
There's no donations. It's not gonna be on Ken's channel. So no donations, no repeated sound clips 5 times in a row.
Whose channel is it going to be on?
It's going to be primarily on Nikki's channel. But if it can't be accomplished there, it's on my channel. But either way, it's going forward. It's going to be serious. And it's going to be submitted in such a way that the information presented will be in such a manner that it can be submitted to law enforcement.
Will it be in the month of February? Can you confirm?
I can't confirm anything at the moment. The information essentially is all acquired. Some of it needs to be slightly organized into a chronological order so that when presented, it goes through the dates properly and everyone understands the progression of the decline of Scott McKinnon. But other than that, we're looking at probably February, some point in February.
Do you think Joe Cronin will be involved?
The coward Joe Cronin, I doubt entirely will participate, despite Nick's true, sincere desire to have him there. Absolutely. But the fact is that Joe has always utilized Scott
Yeah.
in such a way that
Trying to kill a
when
bug?
people attack him, he's his friend. But when people are friends with him, he attacks. So, despite the fact that Scott has crossed Joe multiple times and done many a thing quite wrong, I doubt entirely. Damn that weed. It's also the papers. ran out of raw papers, and now I'm using this garbage shit called Export A. It's like fucking smoking cardboard.
Well, like in America, they have the job papers. They're like 50 cents. They're called jobs, J-O-B.
Oh, these are
They're horrible.
terrible. Oh, man. Those are bad.
Okay.
Okay, so where was I?
Oh, will Joe Cronin get
So
any punishment?
Well,
for
that's the thing,
doing
though.
the be-
It's amazing. I would think it's very amazing. People should recognize this, is that Nicky Nines himself, the Nine Gods, reached out to Joe and stated that he would not just, declare a truce. He actually stated that he would bury the hatchet to have Joe Cronin
Yeah.
on the tribunal featured somehow, whether it be witness statement, whether it be perhaps participation, you never know. But
That's
Nick
pretty
himself went not only far, but beyond, and gave him not only just an opportunity, but he literally rolled out the red carpet for Joe Cronin.
You know, I'd have to make a statement about Nicky Nines. That shows that he doesn't want clout. Because before he made that statement, I always thought, oh, he always wanted Joe's clout, Joe's attention, stuff like that. That proves to me that he could put all that bullshit aside. He doesn't want Joe's clout. He just calls him out for the piece of shit Joe is. That's all. No clout, none of that. Big ups to Nicky Nines on that offer. And, I don't know if Joe saw that or not, but definitely Joe, if he hears this, take that offer up, Joe. Take that offer up. Nicky Nines is a primetime player, and he's always been not harsh on me, but he's not afraid to speak his mind, in other words.
Okay, well, riddle me
Pop
this,
class.
Batman. Do you really think that Joe would ignore an opportunity to maintain someone as their attack dog? Because that is what Scott was from time to time for Joe Cronin. And it's always a great, useful scapegoat. Because, these guys are attacking me, Scott's my friend. Oh, these guys are friends with Scott, I hate them all. Like,
Well, would you put me and Joe in the same pond after, remember the whole corrupted thing when Joe destroyed all of his equipment from Scott? And then,
you do it because you enjoy manipulating people and you have fun trying to play people like chess pieces. Joe does it more, and you don't care about your fucking reputation. Joe does it because of his reputation. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
Like you like to have fun manipulating people, and trust me, you don't have to admit this here because we know it's fucking true, asshole. You have fun doing that, but you don't care about people, the reputation you got. You can be called anything, and you don't give a fuck. You'll keep doing it. Joe, though, has to jump on the narrative train to fucking stop any misconstruing of the character that he's placed out, as who he is. Do you not agree?
no, I agree, but I'm saying, like, Remember when he destroyed all his equipment, and then he's like, "No one ever. If I hear anyone on the show where it's God, I mean, I have nothing to do with you." But then, obviously, multiple times he brought him back and stuff like that. So I wonder why Joe keeps bringing him back because I can't even answer that.
I just explained it.
I mean, can you put it in like simple man's terms?
No.
Well, Joe, I would definitely take that off because Scott has caused, you know. I've already maintained a fair and balanced relationship with Joe for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Always was proud to have him on. When Ken was on there, it was like a major thing for me, big deal. And they were, not supposed to be on together type deal. And just Joe, Joe has a lot of power in this community. You know, he says something, people will follow. Well, like the JCS Army type deal I'm talking about. He has a lot of,
What I'm supposed to shake in my boots about D. Welsh, the chinless wonder?
I'm saying
Give
if
me
Joe,
a fucking break. Did fucking Joe Cronin has a lot of power in this fucking community.
I'm saying if Joe makes this decision, he's gonna look a lot better. It's gonna be like, wow, Joe.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Really-
Every time that Joe tries to play fucking defense and fucking jump on top of a narrative, he gets called out, he fucking gets exposed, and it becomes even more fucking relevant as to why his fucking viewers continue to drop when it comes to shows that used to be fucking amazing, like Monetize This or even fucking the Monday Night Review.
No, I'm saying, those were great. But I'm saying like with Joe, it takes this deal with Nikki, right? And then the Nikki stuff, he doesn't stream on Joe anymore, stuff like that. That to us and whoever watches from Joe's side, it's gonna, they're gonna say, "Damn, Joe, you really, you know what I'm saying? You're pretty solid for that, brother. You know what I'm saying? You're not about the Scott clout or whatever. You're not about fucking, this guy Nikki who bashed you for all this time. You're actually gonna make amends with him, bro. That'll show a lot from Joe, is what I'm trying to say here, and Nikki too, both. But with Joe having obviously more audience than Nikki, it's gonna set a better example, basically in the community, is what I'm saying. Because bringing Scott on, having the donation, Area 51, that's not really, that's sort of kind of what I do. Bringing Scott around, that's still technically bringing him around and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
No. That's where you have it wrong, and that's another issue that I wanted to fucking pick with you. Oh, just bringing him up is just... No. Stop it. I don't understand why people keep saying, well, if you mention somebody, then magically that allows them to appear. No.
I'm saying what I did and what Joe does, having him on, having a good time with Scott, is what we shouldn't be doing. That's what I'm saying. Not the talking about. We already finished the talking about thing earlier with him about bringing him up in general. But I'm talking about just having him on and ignoring the things he said and just pretending, oh, let's just have a good time with Scott tonight. That shouldn't be done by Joe anymore. And me, of course, is what I'm saying.
It should go even further than that. It should be, this person will never be spoken of again. Any attempts for them to even appear in the chat, and we know when they appear in the chat, that we've got mods necessary to remove them, or we just don't have a chat. It's unfortunate that you can't have a chat because you have faggots that just won't relent. But hey, you don't owe them the chat, so you remove the chat. And anybody that wants to discuss things with you, well, you've got Skype. So you can have a nice little group having a conversation and still not fucking acquiesce to the faggots that want to fucking fuck up the chat.
Well, I'll set an example for the community, and I'll state from now on, it's really not a good idea, guys, especially after 2 weeks ago comment, the last stuff from Scott. Not a good idea to be the buddy friends and stuff like that. Don't ignore, like I did. Don't try to ignore temporarily what he said in the past and try to blow over it, because ultimately you're gonna look just as bad hanging around with Scott.
I'm gonna have to send you the file. I got all the clips but I didn't name them, so I just downloaded them by date. And the one clip I want to send you, and if anyone who actually might have it is listening right now, can send it to YR, that would save me the time. But it's the clip where he literally describes how he's going to take a knife and decapitate YR and force him to watch as his body, convulses. He said this, convulses as he takes your life. I want somebody to send that audio clip to YR. Because I think that's really important. I think YR really needs to fucking lock himself into a final decision as to what he's going to do and what side he finally chooses to go on. Because yes, YR, multiple times you said, yeah, I'm with you guys, man. And you flip-flop, and the flip-flop, and the flip, and the flip, and the flip-flop. The line has been drawn here.
I'm not gonna do a show with him. If he calls me tonight, I'm not gonna be on, Scott. Don't call me.
Look, all I'm telling you is that from this point on, what's going to happen is that anybody that's associated with Scott will be basically sort of like alerting everyone, hey, everybody, I'm a fucking piece of shit, and I don't give a fuck what Scott did, but I'm going to keep working with him because, hey, I'm going to benefit somehow. So that alone is going to flag people. So if Joe Cronin, for example, decides to work with Scott, well, that's going to flag him as literally being someone that endorses the doxing of other people.
Now, will there, say after the tribunal, looking ahead here, say after the tribunal happens, say Joe brings Scott on, what's going to happen? Will you be doing a Power Trip episode 3?
Any opinion whatsoever that anybody has on Joe has to be changed due to the fact that he is choosing to associate with somebody who has literally doxed people, okay? And this is not, Dave Rose doxed me. No, guess what? The address was given to me, which I then in turn shared with a group of people privately and said, if anything happens to me, because you were stating these threats that I hadn't substantiated yet, that you knew where I was, and you were going to get me, blah, 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 had me under observation. I said, okay, fine. You want to play that way? Fine. This private group of people, several of them pussies who told you about this, but I said, well, if something's going to happen to me, because obviously now everyone knows that I'm protecting my father with dementia, if anything happens to me, this is the motherfucker that probably did it. That's not doxing, you stupid piece of shit fuck. Scott, you are garbage. You are literal fucking garbage. Your lack of desire to even bother to speak the truth when it comes to actually defining what doxing is shows how manipulative you are, a word that you probably could not, pronounce properly. But that said, you are a piece of shit. You are a scumbag. You are garbage. And you are under scum. Now, Wire, did you have something to say?
When you said previously that it was a good point, I wanted to interrupt you, but I didn't want to interrupt you. I knew I was going to forget.
Oh well, birdies are telling me. Well, sparrows. I've got sparrows, but Mr. McKinnon is watching, is listening, and confirming that. And he says, has anyone been harmed? No, man. Cuddy said my mom's name on the air after the last BS years ago, man. This guy can't let it go. This guy can't fucking let it go. He can't fucking let it go. That Cunny Chris decided to fight fire with fire. Because we know, at that point, Scott was still fucking trying to dox people. And again, Scott is a fucking retard, so he can't actually properly dox somebody. So all he can use is...
That's what it was.
Was it 411? Whatever.
Hold on, I remember my point. When you said about, you shared, he was saying you doxed him or whatever. when a police officer when you report someone to the police, they ask you for that person's information. You report them, phone number, name. That's basically what you did. It's not doxing. It's providing information for You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand. And the fact is that he doesn't. Not only he doesn't understand that, but he throws it out as if he's some sort of authority on the topic. And when you listen to the guy even try to explain the law, it becomes abundantly evident that he is fucking clueless and he's a piece of shit for trying to intimidate people, which is obvious from the way he speaks and the way he conducts himself, that he's pathetic for fucking trying to intimidate people by convincing them that he knows the law. And in fact, going so far as contacting the FBI? What are you, contacting Sculler and Mully to tell them, Sculler and Mully?
No.
That's actually, fucking Scott did that. And I laughed at it, but I clearly pulled it off as well. Mulder and Scully. But yeah, he thinks that he can fucking just, I'm going to call the FBI and stuff. And unfortunately, there's stupid people out there that think, oh my God, he's calling the FBI. What can I do? It's like, this guy's a Canadian. And you'd think that after all this time of me calling him out, he would have fucking got it by now. But the fact is, a Canadian calling the FBI means shit. Okay? It means absolute shit. Unless there's literally an imminent threat, okay, of a bomb or something like that. A Canadian calls the FBI and the FBI will be like, you're a Canadian, what the fuck? Why are you calling? Well, man, I want you to know that I think this person is a doxer, man. It's like, okay, well, when you've got the evidence to show that to us, please give us a call. But just a reminder, we're Americans and we serve Americans, not some Canadian fuck that's calling in.
Well, now, when he first did that, no one's ever heard that in this community. So, yeah, at first it was like, what the fuck, dude?
Okay,
like,
well, you know what that means? You know what that means? It means that, literally 90% of the community is fucking retarded. Absolute fucking retarded. And in fact, if it's that bad, I'm sorry, euthanasia every single one of those fucking retards. Why? Because if you're so dumb enough to fucking believe the bullshit that Scott preaches and actually think that, oh my God, this guy called the FBI. I've never seen that before. Oh my God, he must be serious. You deserve a fucking bullet in your head.
No, you guys.
Yes,
that's a crazy thing
yes,
to
you do deserve a fucking bullet in your head.
Yes, you do that. I agree with that, but it's a crazy thing to do what Scott did, correct?
Yes, because he's fucking crazy.
It's crazy. It's not a normal thing to do is call the FBI.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anybody of right mind understands that it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit. So yeah, some fucking idiot in Canada who's got no knowledge of not only fucking the law, but grammar for that fucking matter, and you're going to take him seriously and then go, running to other people like, oh my God, Scott said this. I'm so scared. No. No tolerance, no compassion, no mercy, no quarter. No. I am not responsible for the stupidity of others. 2021, no more stupid.
Hey, Rose, are you drinking tonight?
Yes.
Really? Matey. What are you drinking there, Captain Rose?
Just beer. But I'm also smoking the weeds. But the fact is, no more stupid. I will not tolerate people thinking, oh my God, this person said this. Oh, it must be that it's true. It's Scott fucking McKinnon, for fuck's sake, you fucking idiots. He means nothing because he is nothing. Is it that difficult? 6 years, people. 6 years of the same shit over and over and over again. And nobody has the guts to fucking do what I did? Nobody. Well, Tiff took the steps, so there's Tiff. And then now we have the nine gods himself. The pieces are complete now. Okay? The fifth element shall arise. Scott, you are done. I can't say that more often than I'm doing, but you're done. You had your chances, but now you can't walk away. Okay? Because you will face the repercussions of what you've brought upon yourself. And you could say, oh, this is the final tribunal, like you did on that other video. No, live in your fantasy all you want, okay? This is going forward, and you're done. Okay?
Yo,
You're
I'm
done.
Music Lovers, ENT, by the way, so don't block me. It's my backup channel. My music channel, non-drama.
Good. I'm glad you're fucking doing things, and you should be doing things with the fishing channel. Dude, you're talented, okay? But the problem is that you've lived way too long as Peter Pan. It's time to grow up. It's time to realize that, yeah, there are people that might have fun playing with you, but guess what? Their intentions aren't fucking all there, and they're looking to fuck you over. And on top of that, think of it this way: misery loves company. So if somebody's going to suffer, they'd rather you suffer with them, and they'll try to convince you that what they're suffering is what you're suffering too. Scott's been doing this for fucking ages. And it convinces people, yeah, if everyone's against Scott and Scott likes me, that means everyone's against me. So clearly I've got to, keep associating with Scott.
What do you have to say to those people out there? And I love this guy, but I'm using him as a prime example since he's in the chat. Heist. For those people like, oh, Cake forced me to go live. I just don't want to deal with the bullshit, so I just went live with him. In the future, what should they say to Scott if that happens, basically? Which we've all been there with Scott.
No, just say no. Just say fucking no. Okay? That's it. I understand that there are some people that want to keep peace, that actually don't want to, shake the boat, rock the boat. But look, you can't win against Scott. It's as simple as that. You can't win. And at one point, you got to draw the line. And I can understand where Heist is coming from, but no, he should have drawn the line and said, no, fucker, don't. But you know what? It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that he went on that show. Why? Because he fucking called Heist a house N-word. And he he really revealed himself for who he is. When Scott's allowed to run wild, he does my job better for me, because he does things that just reveal the truth in himself, and all I gotta do is just fucking clip it. So I don't have to fucking entice him or even get him into a conversation or debate for him to reveal his true cards. All I gotta do is just let him run wild, and on top of that, the drip, 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 Chinese torture of fucking the tribunal that's gonna come, but no dates announced because we don't announce our fucking strategies against the enemies, driving him mad. So, of course, he's going to continue to make further and further mistakes, which is exactly what we want and exactly what benefits us even further. We have enough evidence as it is, but no, we want more. We want current stuff. We want this timeline to be tight, so that we can show consistent intent, and again, can be submitted to law enforcement.
Well, this isn't giving Scott credit, or whatever, but I did want to hear his response to the streams. I mean, that's partially why I brought him on as well yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But listen, guys. I mean, I'm just gonna have to.
You're gonna have to listen to that clip back first and foremost, and I believe it was on. Was it on your stream?
No, I was. Time for why to do some soul.
No, it was on. You know what? I've got the clip. Again, I've got the clip. I can't remember what video it's streamed on, but the bottom line is I've got the clip that I can easily send you. I could forward it to you through Skype. So regardless, I've got the clip that will clearly, and I've Dave Rose doesn't lie because Dave Rose doesn't need to lie. Okay? Because the truth always proves Dave Rose right. And we saw that with the 1 year sail away. Okay? So, fact is, and my memory being fucking spot on, I was able to literally remember point for point the fight that basically caused me to sail away on the 9th time when Joe fought with me and Jesse online when we just wanted to talk to him. So, fact is, I remember this fucking crystal clear. I'll send you the clip, and you'll listen how this guy describes how he's gonna fucking murder you.
Well, I shouldn't even. I mean, to be honest, I'm just going off the Shannon situation that is drawing my line and making me sail away from Scott. I don't even need to hear this clip. That's not going to make my decision.
Dude, do it for yourself, man.
The decision's already made, though. But the Shannon shit alone is what pretty much is what it gets me now. Still, just that thing alone.
Do it for yourself. It looks like actually Dirty Rotten Podcast episode 6, Wall Street Heroes, is airing soon or was planned to air a little while ago. So because I love that show and I want you guys to tune in as well, I'm going to end the show here. We've had a rockin' good time, I would think. I do appreciate YR for showing that he does, in fact, have testicles. And he decided to come on the call and show that he has chutzpah and guts to address those things that were levied against him. YR?
Can you give a 3-minute window? I would love to talk to Ken or Nikki real quick. But if not, the decision is made.
They're not here on the call, though. I'm just saying that they're basically planning to start soon. And because I don't want to go over them, because I appreciate their show, I want to watch it, and I don't want to go over them. I'm just trying to wrap things up. So they're not here on the call. You might be able to call into their show. I don't know.
Well, I don't want to bring any drama today.
But the point is, today's show, Power Trip Episode 2, is specifically to address you, YR. And I believe that we addressed most things quite well. And that
Dang, it was just me?
Mostly you. A little bit of Scott, but it was you because of what you did.
If I didn't call in, what would have happened? Well, I would have got the message anyway.
I would have probably fucking roasted your ass.
Because I really wasn't listening at first. I need to go back and listen because I wasn't until I saw the messages.
What's important is you need to go back and realize Dave Rose is correct and that Scott literally described how he was going to murder you. But it's not just the murder, dude. It's how he was going to have you watch yourself die.
People know this is hard for me to do, to break away from Scott.
Well,
and I know I've said it a million times, but the people know doing it for real is hard for
every
me.
Journey requires one step. But that's the thing, though. If you take that first step, maybe we'll start to see real Texan fishing.
I forgot the password on that, so I'm going to have to create a new channel. But we'll come up with a new name.
Write this shit down, you fucking ignorant fuck.
I know I will. So we will be having... Is there a support system around YR breaking away from Scott?
Yeah, it's called fucking the community. And... whether it be the boys at No Hard Feelings or around Dirty Rotten Podcast,
right,
or even the one and only Devious Dave Rose, there always is that support because I am truly the defender of the community. And you've seen this before. I've come alone and fought off an army because it was the right thing to do.
Dave Rose, YR, the defenders of the faith in the community. And,
absolutely. Amen.
But seriously, guys, whenever this tribunal is, I hope Joe, responds in it and stuff like that. And to Ken, I apologize to you, really, because I should have stood firm when that whole Shannon situation happened on your side. I did maybe not openly state that I was on your side, but I was always on your side on that thing. That was wrong. I don't support that. It still hurts me, and I'm sorry for being a horse's ass, bro. And Ken, I know you heard a million apologies from me, but I'm just going to have to prove to you, what I'm saying, that I have your best interest in heart, and you and Joe's, you know what I'm saying? And God bless you, Ken, brother, for real. And Dave Rose, I thank you. This is getting to a really tight game. My Rockets here.
All right. Well, I'll
So
let you go with your jogger ball.
I appreciate you having me on, and hopefully
Well,
Power
thank
Chip
you. Thank
3.
you for calling in and showing that you were man enough at least to address what was being levied against you. And I hope that you've sort of realized the situation at hand and what the inevitability is when it comes to Scott. So, now it's up to you whether or not you choose to continue to associate with him or if you choose to do the better thing and do your own thing because you know that people are going to support you regardless. And you don't have to live in fear about somebody who will soon be relegated to the dustbin of history.
Well,
Also, shout out to the 55 downvotes, man. Fuck, this is great.
that's weird.
I
Well,
love
Minnesota
it.
Viking, Minnesota's in the chat. So, but shout out to Keith. Shout out to my man SC Steve. Glad he's back.
There's no
And
shout outs on this channel, lad.
You just did shout out to the thumbs down. So that's why.
Rules for me, not for thee. Don't you know how things work with the elites?
God bless everyone in this community. Dave Rose, the tribunal number 3 or number 4.
Number 4, but it's the first grand tribunal. This is the one to end all tribunals. The information presented will be undeniable, and I would suggest that you have yourself a lot of popcorn ready for when this goes forward in February of 2021, because we will finally see an end to the scourge of Skunt.
God bless everyone in this community.
On that note,
Wake
we
up,
are
wake
now
up,
going to
Joe.
bring this show to an end. I thank every single one of you magnificent bastards for joining us here tonight. And be sure to check out Dirty Rotten Podcast on the Mars Mirror Show, which has actually just started. And yeah, have a good night, people.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Gay as fuck. Thank you.